Testing, 1, 2, 3. How to replug in my microphone there because it wasn't registering, but we are good. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? Yes, it is. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Sitting in the ground in Los Angeles. Now, we did an audible. We were supposed to do a blue hour departure out of Argentina. However, Callie Simmer pointed out that the visibility was, like eighth of a mile in LAX this morning, and I had to jump on the opportunity to do some low vis ops. So we're going to be doing two legs, hopefully, LA, Sacramento, and back to LA here in the Southwest 737-800 split SIMTAR updated version. We've got some upgrades to the aircraft that you saw yesterday, most notably some increased ground handling and tiller options, or just the way it should feel anyway on the ground. So I'm really excited for that. Have not even given it a test yet. I don't know what it feels like, so we're going to find out live. They've already started some exterior polishing, but they are going to be doing that further on after the aircraft releases, according to the latest changelog. So it's going to be a fun day of flying. We're going to use the HUD. We're going to take off low vis. We're going to go over our takeoff legality table. We'll talk RVR, runway visual range, which is how we're going to measure the visibility most likely today. I'll be curious to see how Beyond ATC handles this. But all in all, it should be a fun flight, ready to rock and roll. And then this evening, we'll probably be in some prop ops. So we got two streams coming at you today. It's going to be a fun day here. I hope y'all are ready. Fly-by-wire, Roscoe, my man. What's up? 48 months support says 46 months of Airbusing, still no check ride. Boeing 737 is dead to me. Feeling like I might unsub. Oh no.
Yeah, woke up to where I couldn't even see out of my backyard and thought, LAX has got to be spicy. Let's get it.
Callie Simmer, thank you as well for the $20 super chat. Very, very much appreciate you. Thank you for thinking of me this morning. Thank you for sending a message in Discord, because yes, this is exactly what I love to do here. So real time. Well, I wound the time back to 6:30 a.m., 6:37 a.m. in the sim. So we just wound it back a tad. But thank you, Callie Simmer, for pointing out this stream is dedicated to Callie Simmer, courtesy of a little latte this morning as well, ready to rock and roll. Thank you. Appreciate all the support and the $20 bank angle check from Callie Simmer. Very kind of you. Let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and get this thing fired up before this visibility clears out, right? Captain Minnesota, you love the intro music? My man, that's from Jeremy Harvey himself. Custom made for the channel. So awesome stuff. Thank you, man, for the support. Sam, on the way back from CQ, had to do one more check ride before next month. Dude, you're better than I am. I would have just put my 2 weeks in and like taken all of Christmas off, no CQ, and just, taking a little mini vacation. You're highly motivated. But that's good, my man. That's good, dude. Congrats on getting that done. Currently at work in the hood, no fog here, just haze from the homeless fires and occasional gunfire. All right, so we got to get rocking then, because this fog is probably going to burn off here. So Classic Jet Senpai, before I go, he says Mad Dog 24 update Saturday. What? Okay, we got lots going on. We also have college football playoff, though, so how are we going to handle that? All right, let's go ahead and get the airplane booted up first, and we'll go from there. So we are going to do our power on procedure. Battery switch is going to come online. We've got that closed, no alternate flaps. We also have the 3 green lights down there. That checks. And we don't have ground power on bus. Why don't we have ground power connected? What did I miss? Ground ops, requested ground power. Oh, I changed it to pit power. Look at that. It's pretty cool. That actually gets the little ding connected down there. Very cool. And wait for the light. Come on now. I just did the electrical system this morning. Electrical system CBTs. Let's go ahead and brighten up the panel. Airplane is booting up. We'll go ahead and get the floodlights on. Get the background lights on. We'll go ahead and get this brightened up. Looking good, looking good. Hitcher's Wit, welcome to Private Pilot. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Glad you're enjoying the content, man. Glad to have you on board. Very, very kind of you. Oh, this cockpit is going to be cozy today, chat. It's going to be cozy. Well, that's the main panel brightness. I wanted autopilot flight director system. Yeah, let's get that nice and bright. All right, cool. Wow, my goodness me. Blackbird Controls dropping 50 gifted subs from the top. Mr. Blackbird Controls, thank you so much for spreading the love with a massive 50 sub bomb here on the channel. Appreciate you. If you haven't already, make sure you check out Blackbird Controls. We have been using the Blackbird control levers all week long. So shout out to Blackbird for supporting the channel and getting us an awesome set of Honeycomb Bravo 737 levers that are 1-to-1. And I tell you what, they are pretty epic. I actually have my checklist resting in between them right now, so very, very kind of you. Let's go ahead and rock a quick overhead panel initialization. We're going to come up to the top here. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to do all of our circuit breaker checking, and we come over here. Bags are stowed, emergency equipment, QRC. We'll hang our captain's jacket here. I'm going to keep doing this on stream, so it kind of reminds me when I get into the real thing. I'm not going to forget, because I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing something. We're checking for all of our emergency equipment and all that stuff. Then we check for the QRC card on the dash and begin the overhead prep flow. We'll throw these into align nav, interphone on, boom, 3 green lights. Oxygen is on. EEC lights are illuminated. Engine EEC or engine 1, 2 lights are out. Stall warning. Stall warning. Shaker 1. Shaker 2. Mike P, the Bush League commissioner himself, dropping the 50 gifted subs as well. Mike P, thank you so much, my man, for the 50 gifted sub bomb. Hope you're staying safe out there. Next year, man, we're going to do this. Congrats on getting into the playoffs, although you didn't have anybody score any points against you. But I appreciate you putting on the league this year and being the Bush League commissioner, man. Appreciate you. All right, gen lights are out. Get some shout outs for Mike P and Blackbird Controls with the sub bombs. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the support, y'all. All right, we're making our way down the panel. You guys know the operation of the flow by right now. Hydraulics, when we come here, though, what do? We come down here. I did install AnyBuild's 2024 LAX. We'll see how she handles. I've been running the Gaia sim, I guess the default one, for quite some time, and I had no issues, but see how this handles here, especially low vis. Logo lights on, steady, that is on. Cool. All right, then we come down across here. Let's go ahead and get the terrain on. Magic Barrel ref. Minimums will set you to 200. Actually, you'll be 300. All right, 300, we're going to get flight director auto throttle. Flight director is on. 1, 2, oh no, I just smashed my throttle camera. Hold up. Yep. Let's get that back. Oh no, my checklist just fell down too. Chat, we're falling apart here. We're falling apart. Oh my gosh, we got music. Professional streamers available elsewhere. Hold on. I need to get my checklist. You guys are interrupting my flows here. You're interrupting my flows. We're not going to have any low vis to take off in. All right. Put you back on there, I guess. Where were we here? We were coming across the board. Everything looks good. Nose wheel steering guarded. Test. Shaker, or not shaker. Tapes and 8s. Beautiful. Throw you into RTO. Fuel flow reset back to rate. Coming across the board, everything looks good. We'll throw you in FMC. Park brake is set. Stab trim fire 1. My goodness, we got some more gifted subs coming in here. No wonder my sim is lagging. My OBS is lagging. My goodness. Let me get to that in just 1 second. Let me finish my flow. Boom, boom, boom. Everything else looks good. Wonderful. Who was that? Eastern 3984 with another 50 gifted sub bomb. My goodness, man. Thank you so much for the massive sub bomb as well. Eastern, are you Eastern T3? Just a different YouTube name now. Thank you so much for getting another 50 gifted subs spread out to the community for our holiday cheer, my man. Very, very kind. Appreciate you. Blackbird Controls as well with the $5 super chat. Hey, Merry Christmas to you, man. Hope you have a wonderful holiday season, Blackbird. Appreciate you, dude. Wow, everything is lagged out because of that. All right, we're up and cooking here with our airplane. Let's go ahead and get the ATIS, see what the ATIS is calling for right now. And while we do that, I will throw on the programming cam here. Oh, we forgot to do the radio.
25 right, 25 left. 3 back, I'll hold short instruction. Advise on initial contact, you have information, Bravo. Los Angeles Airport information, Bravo. 1435 Zulu. Wind 120 at 3. Visibility 116. Temperature 12. Dew point 12. Altimeter 3008. Landing runways 24 right. 25
Did he
left.
say the viz? I didn't hear it.
Departing runways 24 left. 25 right. 25 left. Repack I'll hold.
Chat is
short
Christmassy indeed,
instruction.
man. We got a green chat for
Live
Christmas.
On initial contact, you have information. Bravo.
I didn't hear the viz, but we know it's low. All right, let's get clearance up.
Los Angeles 6.
Delta 1445 ready to pick up IFR clearance to Portland Airport.
Delta 1445, Los Angeles clearance, cleared to Portland Airport. Dark tree departure, scatter transition, then is filed. Climb via SID, departure frequency 125.2, squawk
Why is our
27
route
for
red?
4.
Cleared to Portland Airport. Dark tree departure, scatter transition, then as
There we go.
filed. Climb
That's why.
via SID, departure frequency 125.2, squawk 2744, Delta 1445.
Captain's got to pay double
Delta
for got full
1445,
flap.
read back correct.
Gifting's going to run through the entire flight. Kelly Silver, I know. It's
When ready
wild.
for pushback or engine
You guys are
start.
crazy.
Ground 121.75 when ready. Delta
Zippy, we got Little Sim in that
1445.
gifted run? My goodness. Clearance, good morning. Southwest 357, clearance to Sacramento, please.
Southwest 3591, ready for airways to Lambert St. Louis
No,
Airport.
no, no, Southwest 3591. You calm down. I called first. Ooh, we have Route 2 down here.
3591,
What?
Los Angeles
Cut me
clearance,
off.
Cleared to Lambert St. Louis Airport. Orca 5 departure with the Las Vegas transition, then is filed. Climb via SID, departure frequency 125.2, squawk for 120.
Cut me
Cleared to
off.
Lambert St. Louis Airport. Orca 5 departure with the Las Vegas transition, then is filed. Climb via
Refueling is complete.
SID, departure frequency 125.2, squawk for 120, Southwest 3591. Southwest 3591, read back correct. Contact ground 121.75 when ready for pushback or engine start.
Beyond ATC does a great job of
Ground
simulating the idiots that don't
121.75
listen
when
before
ready
keying the
for
mic.
pushback or engine start, Southwest 3591, take care.
Clearance, Southwest 357, clearance to Sacramento, please. Oh, why is my mic not working? Clearance, Southwest 357, clearance to Sacramento, please. Because it's not selected. That's right, because my mic was off. Clearance, Southwest 357, clearance to Sacramento, please. There we go. Now my mic's working. Turk in the U.S. V1 made more money than his
Los
first year
Angeles
FO
clearance
pay.
to Southwest 357, your clearance to Sacramento is not available at this time. Please check the frequency for taxi instructions.
What?
JetBlue 288 on our way to Logan Airport.
ATC says no.
JetBlue 288, Los Angeles clearance cleared to Logan Airport. Dots
Okay,
2
well, I'll tell you
departure.
what we're going to
Clean
do.
Transition, then is filed. Climb via...
I'm going to turn you off, and I'm going to do my own thing. What are they departing? 2-5, so we'll probably be, what is it, 2-4 left. 2-4 left on the dots, I believe. 2-4 left on the dots. No, Lady J4. Lady J4 to Castro. Execute that route. Beautiful. Then we'll go to our arrival page, Sacramento. We're planning the ILS 17 right out of Sacramento on the Suitor 4 from Nure. Beautiful. Execute that. We might have to put a transition in there. I'll look that up once we get up to cruise altitude. We'll go back to our init ref, bring our zero fuel weight. This will be data linked up and over. Once we get that in the box, let's take a look at our flight plan for our fuel ladder. Electronic flight bag, fuel ladder, reserve fuel, 2.4, call it 2.5 plus 4, 2.9. Cost index is going to be 51. And cruise flight level 370. Seems excessive for this short of a flight. That looks good. Execute that. Here's our clearance. He's talking to us now. I had it muted.
ADJ for departure with the Castro transition, then is filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 125.2. Squawk 06 for 1.
24 left,
Cleared
Lady
to Sacramento. Lady J for
J40641.
departure with the Castro transition, then is filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 125.2. Squawk 06 for 1. Southwest 357.
Alright, that looks good. N1
Southwest
limit, no delay,
357, read
TO1,
that correct. Contact
takeoff,
ground
flaps
121.65
5,
when ready for push or start.
CG 24.8, 4.8 on the units, 39, 41, 50.
Or engine start.
Set our
Southwest
MCP 150. Runway course line. Let's see. There's going to be 240 out of here. We'll set these as well. 240. Heading 240. All right, 240, 240, 150. That's all set. Go back to our takeoff. We'll leave you there. I'm going to put the second McDo over there. We're also going to bring
Delta
up the
842
taxi
at gate
charts.
23 Bravo, request pushback.
Airport. We're going to need low vis charts.
Delta 842, Los Angeles ground, pushback and engine start approved, face north. Pushback approved, face north, Delta 842.
10-9 standard routes. No, we don't want standard routes. We want low vis taxi routes less than 1200 RVR. We're going to talk about that. SID, Lady J4. Right here, we'll pin you as well. And top altitude on the Lady J4 is what? 8,000 feet. So 8,000 is set. All right.
Skywest 5897, ramp Zulu 52 Bravo, taxi via Victor. Hold short runway 24 left.
Ramp Zulu 52 Bravo via Victor. Hold short runway 24 left, Skywest 5897.
All right, 24 left.
Skywest 5897.
Coming out of Terminal 2.
cross
I gotta
runway
turn
24
these guys
left to
down.
Victor, continue taxi via Colima. Hold short runway 25 right.
All right. So we got that all set up.
For left at Victor.
Let's run
Taxi via Victor, Echo Lima. Hold short
fuel.
runway
We could get our
24
EPU
right,
bleed on
Skywest
as well.
5897.
We'll get some air into the cabin right now. All right, let's run our dual bleed light. Let's run it before start to the line. Parking brake set. Oxygen is not checked. Again. Oxygen check, nav transfer and display switch is normal and auto. Window heat is on. Pressurization, auto and set 370. Landing altitude, Sacramento, what, 100 feet? 100 feet. All right, train display selected. MCP, we got set 240, 150, 240. Displays checked. Auto brake, RTO, fuel quantity and distribution. 15,000 pounds and checked. CDU checked. Engine start levers cut off. Transponder TARA, aileron and rudder trim 00. Departure briefings completed. We'll talk about that. Fastened seatbelts are on. APU is on. Captain forgot to put it on buses. We got the source off light. That extinguishes the source off light. Read about that this morning. Fuel panel is set. Flight forms AML onboard accepted. Aircraft is 8520 Quebec. PEDs off. We're to the line. All right. Then heads down there. A lot going on there. You know you're a Black Sports fan. I want to buy one of their products. If I buy one, which one do you recommend? Man, it's just all of them, dude. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with any Black Sport product that you buy, man. You just can't go wrong. Pick whichever one you like. To be honest with you. All right, so looking at our taxi routes. So the RVR, I think it's probably increasing as we're sitting here because the fog is burning off. I wish I could go historical weather, go back. Terminal 2, D16. So we're probably going to take D9 out. And these little lights, these are the authorized low visibility taxi routes. So they're going to be green centerline taxi lights, and they're going to take us out to runway 24 left. full length at Echo 6. So we're going to have to join taxiway Echo. That's an easy taxi. If we were going to 25 right, we can expect one of these routes here. And then you could see here they're not going to give us 25 right because this isn't off. This wouldn't be a low-vis taxi route here. So they're going to keep this traffic on the north side, which is interesting, though, because I've come out of Terminal 4, and I've gone all the way to 24 left at like 500 RVR, which was quite the taxi. But that's kind of our taxi briefing. We'll bring out the takeoff legality table. We'll make sure our HUD is set with the brightness here. Turn down the brightness a tad. And we are going to use the HUD for departure. All right, departure brief is complete. We've been on buses. Let's go ahead and get ready to run below the line. So we're going to get probe window heat on, electric hydraulics. APU bleed is on, packs off. Doors are lights out. So we'll throw the anti-collision light on. We'll verify hydraulic systems have pressurized, which they are, 2960. Beautiful. That looks good. Dual warning lights. Dual bleed light. Below the line. Probe heat's on, hydraulic panel set, doors, windows, close and lock, anti-collision light on before start checklist complete. Request push and start. Let's close up everything over here.
Southwest 357, Los Angeles ground, pushback and engine start approved, face north.
Pushback and engine start approved, face north, Southwest 357.
All right. You got one of those 24 under 30-year-old captains can't be expected to operate a jet from the 60s. You'd be lucky if there's any O2 after all those tests. It works. Stays there pretty good. Takes a while for it to come down with tests. All right, they're pushed back. They're pulling back. Chocks are removed. Let's make sure our doors are all armed. Door management. We will close all and arm all. Doors are closed and armed. Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and we got clearance to push. Brakes release. Cockpit to ground. Commence pushback, please. Enough of the under 30 hate. Sam, listen, we're jealous, my man. Captain Overspeed, you got a meeting in 3 minutes? We'll take it easy, bud. We'll see you.
453, gate 12 Bravo, request pushback.
Classic Jet Sim, you got to run. Catch the replay later. Hey, man, we're going to have some low-vis cat fun. Take it easy, Classic Jet Sim pilot.
Pushback and engine
All right, Southwest does not wait, so we're going to start them in the pushback. Grounding 2. Yeah, you get. This is any builds, man. I got to get... I'd probably have to run an auto FPS, which is interesting that their I&I JFK runs smoother than their LAX, for sure. At least we beat that Southwest in the pushback. And one rotation, fuel on. The spar lights extinguish. Turn off some of these floodlights here.
Pushback approved, face east-west, jet 1513.
Push complete, set brakes. Park brake is set, clear disconnect, show me the pin out front. We'll go ahead and grounding 1. Starter valve open. Did you get the 24 Super Deluxe in it? Yeah, I just bought it this morning, the $5 upgrade or whatever. But I think it would be fine. I think I'd need to just run auto FPS. Remember, I'm not running auto FPS anymore. So that would probably be a key. I'm really curious to see how this puppy handles on the taxi out. This should be part of the update that we received last night or this morning, rather.
Southwest 453, ready to taxi to the active.
Fuel on.
Southwest 453.
Wait, Southwest 453? That's the one behind us? She just pushed back. How'd she beat us off the gate?
Alright, we'll taxi to runway 24 left via Delta 8 Echo, Romeo Southwest 453.
Unibuild 350 isn't playing nicely with what's on when it's on the gate. Oh, really? Yeah, I haven't flown 350 in a while, but we should. I kind of actually want to fly the 340, to be honest with you. All right, so after start, Captain's going to go here, and going to go here, and going to go here. And I'm going to go here, 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 here. And then, well, let's see, 4.9, 4.8 on the trim. That checks flaps 5. Flaps 5. Ooh, flap sounds sound different. And the heapler looks different. I don't know if that's a low vis thing. The heapler looks better, right? Remember the heapler used to like double the pylon? Very cool. Flap sounds sound good too. Cabin lights are going to annoy me. All right, brakes released. After start check with sir. Anti-ice as required. Generators on. Air conditioning and bleeds. They are set. Flaps set. Flight controls checked. Recall. Check. Call for taxi. I'm going to get centered on the line here.
Southwest 357, runway 24 left taxi via Delta 8 Echo Romeo.
Runway 24 left taxi via Delta 8 Echo Romeo, Southwest 357.
All right, Delta 8 Echo Romeo.
Southwest
Ooh.
357, contact Los Angeles Tower 133.9er, see you.
Tower 133.9er, Southwest 357.
All right, Delta 8, we're going to follow. That feels good. I got to get my tiller cam back out here. Yeah, they tuned the flap sounds a bit for sure. All right, takeoff config is checked. And how are we looking? We're going to be doing the before takeoff. So once I turn on the echo, I'll run the flow.
WestJet 1513, Los Angeles Tower, wind 120 at tree, RNAV to NA, runway 24 left, cleared for takeoff.
Yeah, the viz has gotten dramatically better. That's unfortunate. When I took that thumbnail, that was in LAX real time, so the viz has definitely gone up. Alright, so set. We're going to make sure our PFD is set. MCP is set. Bleeds and packs are auto and set. APU is off. Before takeoff, checklist to the... before takeoff. To the line. Takeoff data and bugs. Closeout received and checked. Flaps 5, green light. Stab trim 4.8 units. Takeoff brief completed. HUD is set. Generators on. Air conditioning bleeds auto and set before takeoff to the line. Pete Ski dropping 50 gifted subs as well. Guys, this taxiing feels really nice. Thank you so much, Pete Ski, for the 50 gifted sub bomb to the channel as well, just before we blast off here to LAX in a low viz stream, man. Very, very kind. Appreciate the support. Thank you for that sub bomb, man.
Southwest 357, ready for
Christmas
departure, runway 24
cheer
left.
is in the air.
Southwest 357, runway 24 left, line up and wait.
Runway 24 left, line up and wait.
All right.
Southwest 357.
Strobe steady and wing comes on. And I'm going to just do all these because the captain is going
Southwest
to do his
357,
thing.
Los Angeles Tower, wind 120 at tree, RNAV to NA, runway 24 left, cleared for takeoff.
Below the line, MCP and ND checked, runway 24 left. PA's completed, lights set, before takeoff checklist complete.
WestJet 1513, contact SoCal departure.
Contact SoCal departure, WestJet 1513.
Alright, sim sounds are coming up for takeoff.
Southwest 453.
We don't need to go over the takeoff legality chart because I can tell we're well above any restricted mins.
Southwest 450,
Probably at a half mile
hold short
right
of
now.
24 left, departing traffic.
Roger, hold short of 24 left for traffic, Southwest 453.
We are clear to go. Actually, runway heading is closer to like
Southwest 2817, hold position for
249.
coming traffic. I'll call you back.
closer to 251.
Southwest 2817. Los Angeles Tower, United 1216, visual runway 24 right.
United 1260, Los Angeles.
All right, we're going to do this
Tower,
one from inside. Spool them up 40%.
runway 24 right, cleared to land.
Yoga. Oh, I forgot to our LNAV, VNAV. I guess it's we're not gonna do it. Interesting. All right, we'll take care of it. I missed that. 80. You're up. Oh, forgot to bind. 20 degrees max. Fly with. Oh man, all of our low vises. Alright, let's go LNAV, VNAV. Outside temp is +25. We don't need to worry about engine and ice. Flaps 1. Flaps up. After takeoff checklist. Alright, after takeoff checklist flow. Gear up, off, RTO is off. Leads packs, auto and set, pressurizing APU is not required. After takeoff checklist complete. That's why you have 2 people run that. Look, I go upside to run the after takeoff and I start descending. Wow. Sounds are coming down. We no longer need the HUD. Wow, look at that overcast layer. That looks so real. That looks real life, does it not? Does that not look real life? Man, I wish we could have caught it in time when it was like 300 RVR. That's super mid.
SoCal departure, Southwest 2817, climbing via Orca 5900.
Southwest 2817, SoCal departure, radar contact.
Flying with Big Earn today.
Southwest 2817, leave Delray heading 251, vectors to Clipper.
Hopefully Sacramento will remain a little low vis. Don't have any restrictions that are above. No, we're good. We're gonna just keep hand flying this right over Malibu. Nice. We're West Coast, Alexander. What's up, man? What's your actual call out when you set takeoff thrust? I actually don't even know what the call. I think it's just Toga. Or I think they announced. I don't know, Sam. I gotta look it up, dude. You should know. Oh wait, no, you don't have the book yet, right? I'll look it up.
SoCal departure, United 1638 Heavy, climbing via Orca 5, 1,600 feet. United 1638 Heavy, SoCal.
Oh, that's a hard 8. We don't want that. Level change. N1 MCP speed. Up we go. Which they cleared us. I was wondering why we were going to level there at 8. Didn't see that. They cleared us up to 15. So climb and maintain relieves us of the restriction. We're just basically an open climb now. And we'll do, I guess guess we can go back to VNav and then do. No, I don't want to do out to hold. Hold on. I wanted to just ignore. I want to get back into VNav speed. There we go. There we go. There's 10,000 feet. We get the retracts. Yeah, we're giving the autopilot a rest at rough landings. But we're going to turn the autopilot on here right now because I want to take a look around, see what's going on. So Command A is engaged. And that's LA down there, socked in. So we kind of missed it. We missed our low-vis opportunity. How can I go back to historical weather? Can I run historical weather? Because as soon as I go off of live weather, it goes backwards. It like goes to just clear. But that's how, I mean, it's pretty hard to catch a 300 RVR. I think, you know, last 10 years on the Airbus, I think I can count on one hand how many 300 RVR, a true 300 RVR approaches I've done. Maybe, I think I've done 2, maybe 3, and I think the third one was 300, 500, and like 600 or something. It was like not 300 all the way. Like a true 333 is, it's pretty rare. Rahul, yes, the sounds are balanced. They did do a balance. I can read the changelog here. I'll read it in just a minute. I'm gonna turn the radio down here a little more. And just make sure everything is good. We've got to get through 18 thou. It looks like there's some more weather out here. So RVR is short for runway visual range, and when you get below a half-mile visibility, typically the airport will start reporting the visibility in what is known as RVR, and it's a measurement of lateral distance between transmissometers that are placed along the runway. So it's a more accurate way of giving you visibility. Think of it as a finer unit of measurement. Instead of going quarter mile, half mile, 3/4 mile, you can get down to feet. So RVR is measured in feet. So 300 feet RVR, that's pretty low. That's 2 runway stripes. And in reality, you can't even see I mean, it's a 300 RVR is pretty dang low. Because if you think if your nose is on one runway stripe, you may see the next runway stripe. That's it. We're leveling at 15, I think. Oh, he gave us 30. Climb and maintain 300. All right, 30 is set. Up we go. Go to the weather window and roll the time back, or keep the date the same. Go to the weather window and roll time back. Keep the date the same. That's what I did, Diabetic Lad, but the weather doesn't seem to change. It seems to just stay in live weather. Go to custom weather, unselect live, reselect it from preset, and you will have not real time but real weather. Well, I don't want real weather. That's the thing, Thrust said. I want weather from earlier this morning, because this morning LA was down to like 300 RVR, I think, which is really low. If you load in with live time, then adjust the time it should. That's what I did, Digital. I loaded in with live time, and then I just wound the sim time back. So but it still says live, you know. And you can see here it's 6:13. They should have a better display. Like, yeah, this is historical. Unless maybe it is historical right now, and it's going to get worse as we go back. We'll see, because we're going to return back to LA. Get rid of that. Here comes 18,000 feet. We'll set standards. STDs once, twice, and thrice. We'll go ahead and get the rest of our lights off. and up we go. You have to click live. Oops. On top left. Yeah, if I click live, but then wind the time back, it goes to custom. So if I go live, right? So is this what I want? It's 7 a.m. We'll leave it like that. We'll see what happens when we make our return. See, I feel like that.
Southwest Tree 57, contact Los Angeles Center, 135.5.
Open tablet and check the METAR. Actually, I never even thought about that. 1/16th mile. That was at 14:53 Z. And time in the sim is 15:02. Maybe it's working now. We'll see. Wrong side. What's up, my man? Under custom, you had live weather selected, but the time wasn't live. Under live, if you change the time on it's going to use live weather, that was live time. Bruh. You might as well be speaking Farsi, man. No idea. We're going to leave it as is. I don't think it's going to work the way I want it to work anyway. I don't want live time is what I'm saying. I want fake. I want to go back at 6 a.m. and have weather from 6 a.m. is what I want. If the weather is 12 to 1600 RVR, can you take off? Well, that's glad you asked, Turks, because I have my takeoff legality table that we're going to look at right now, or well, I'm going to tell you. So whenever you are in a case with low visibility like this, we have to consult what's called our takeoff legality table. And basically, it's a chart that's going to have a list of RVRs and required reports. And what are reports? When we say RVR, there's typically 3 reports with 1 RVR report. So you have a touchdown report, which generally speaking is going to be, well, not generally, it is going to be the touchdown zone of the runway. So let me show you here. It always kicks me back sometimes when I need that. So for the case of runway 24 left that we took off, you're going to have a touchdown zone report RVR. So let's say RVR is 600. All right. Then you're going to have a mid report 600 RVR or whatever it may be. And then you'll have a rollout RVR. And sometimes on really long runways, you'll even have a far end report. So you can have up to 4 reports: touchdown, mid, rollout, and far end. And again, what all it is they're sensors along the runway, and they're measuring the visibility in feet, a finer unit of measurement than half mile, quarter mile, eighth mile. And it's going to allow us to operate our aircraft at much lower visibilities than one may think. So today, so right now it was 8th mile, which is probably going to be, I mean, that's going to be, I don't know, 600-ish RVR around there. And the requirements for that are going to be in reference to lightings. So for, let's just say, since we don't know what it was, I think we took off probably closer to half mile, but a quarter mile RVR, or quarter mile, excuse me, which is about 1600 RVR, we need runway centerline markings, which we had, right? We had runway centerline markings on the runway. We had runway edge lights, which are the white lights along the runway edge. We had those. Or centerline lights, which we had both, right? So you could have centerline lights and or centerline markings or runway edge lights or just adequate visual references. All right, and now if it's at nighttime, you must have runway edge lights or centerline lights. You can't have visual references at night. At night, you have to have visual references. Just mean you can visually identify yourself in the middle of the runway. But when we talk RVR requirements, this is what I was hoping we were going to get into. If it was super low, I would see if we could actually take off from LAX. I mean, I know we could have on this takeoff that we just did, but certain takeoffs are going to be captain only. A HUD requirement. There is a HUD requirement for takeoffs less than 1600 RVR. The HUD must be used for departure. So for our operation, HUD use is optional, I guess, but it is mandatory below 1600 feet RVR. The first officer will also have a restriction, so less than 100 miles. Or 100 miles, excuse me, less than 100 hours. So this will be me when I get to the jet. I'll have less than 100 hours on the aircraft. I will not be able to do low visibility takeoffs. I will have to have, so if it's below 1600 RVR, I cannot do the takeoff when I'm low visibility. That'll be a captain takeoff only until I get 100 hours. And then there's still, I think I can go down to, how low can I go? Once I'm off 100 hours, I can get down to... I can't remember. There's another limit, but then below that, the first officer can't do any takeoffs because the first officer doesn't have the HUD. So the HUD is what is going to allow the captain to allow the operator to take off super low. So if we had a HUD, if we had a visibility at 500 RVR, we have minimum equipment that we need. We would have needed 2 ADRUs. We need a CDU. We need flight control computers, 2 of them. There's 1,000 to go. We needed a mode control panel operational. We need an FMA operational for each pilot. 2 ILS receivers. The HUD system must be operable, which it was. Must have 2 electrical systems. So you could have 1 generator in op and use the APU. That is 2 electrical systems, but you need at least 2 electrical systems. You need GPS left. You don't need GPS right, but you need GPS left, and you need 2 windshield wipers. So if you have a windshield wiper in op, but at a certain RVR, less than 500 RVR, you can't take off according to my operator's stuff. But what I was just trying to get across is when we deal with low visibility operations, there's a whole lot more that goes into it. Oh, look at that contrail right there. That's pretty cool. Then just line up and take off, and you know, I can see the runway on the takeoff roll. There's a whole lot more that's going on. There's a whole lot more that the flight crew is going to take into account. I think flight level 300 is going to be our top altitude, so we're going to reset our pressurization to flight level 300. It's smooth, 300 there. We'll go to our cruise page. We'll recruise the aircraft, flight level 300. And now we are in cruising at 300. Similar requirements in Canada. We call you Hymens until you get 100 hours or 250 threshold. Interesting. There is no HUD in the 320, Ali Sammy, so there are I actually don't know. Turks, is the Airbus going to be restricted to lower or higher visibility for takeoff because you don't have a HUD? Does the amount of minimum required equipment change based on expected weather? Yes, it does, Tender Aviation. Yes, it does. $4,000 RVR when still in consolidation, 1,600 RVR when it's out. That's what it is. So 4,000 RVR during OE, and then 1,600 RVR once you're out of it. Then under 1,600 RVR, so on today's takeoff, even if you were if you were an experienced first officer, you probably was going to be a captain takeoff at a LAX. Airbus is 555. That's what it. Yep, that's right. Yep. So it's kind of interesting too. This is all fleet dependent. So being on the bus, the minimum is 555, which is those are the RVR reports we just talked about. 500, 500, 500. The 7.3 can get down to 300, 300, 300. And that is due to the fact that the 7.3 is equipped with the HUD. Now, this is going to continue as we get into Sacramento here. I think the visibility is going to be pretty low, so we're going to have to look at our visibility for approach. I want automatic off. I just want you off. I wish I could just default it to off. 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 Nope. Off. There we go. That's better. Let's pull up a METAR actually for
Los Angeles Center, Southwest 560 through flight level 207 for flight level 340, direct midway.
So Sacramento 1453, half mile.
Southwest 560, Los Angeles Center, roger.
Runway 17 right, 3,000 feet, fog, vertical visibility 300, temperature 6, dew point 6, 3032, tower visibility is 3/4 mile. So we're going to be down to half mile. So we'll do an Autoland for practice on this one. So let's look at the charts and let's find out the legality for this, because just like taking off, where we talked about minimum equipment and lights, whether the equipment is on the aircraft or on the runway, you need to have certain boxes need to be checked for you to do that takeoff. The same is true for landing. So let's actually work through this one, since we were kind of in a scramble trying to get a low-vis takeoff out of LA. Let's actually pull up the chart. So we know the weather is half mile. Now, off the bat, I can tell you we're going to be legal for an approach, because the standard ILS Cat 1 is what? 200 feet and a half mile, right? So if they're publishing a half mile viz, I know that there's a standard ILS. So I have with a fair amount of confidence that we're not going to have any issues getting into Sacramento. But let's take a look at it. We're going to be down the Sutter 4. We'll pin that. That's going to set us up for 17 right. So the approach, ILS 17 right there. Now we have multiple charts, right? In this particular case, now again, this will be on the captain and the crew to come up to a discussion. I always had this discussion with my first officer when I was a captain. I'd say, hey, look, right now we're at minimums for Sacramento, right? So this requires 200 feet. It's showing a half mile visibility, right? So at a half mile viz, do I really want to set up for the default category 1 plain Jane ILS, or do I want to be proactive and set up and brief the Cat 2 or Cat 3 ILS so I don't have to go around? I know we can auto land off of it, and we don't have to worry about going around. So a Cat 3 ILS chart here, if we come down to the minimums, RVR 600. Now there's a couple other things we're going to need to check, but we know that the RVR is well above 600, so we know we're going to be legal. We can kind of mitigate doing some extra checks, but we're going to do it anyway for practice. So we're actually going to set up and plan for the Cat 3 ILS into Sacramento. So first things first, let's make sure we get the aircraft dialed in here. We're going to be landing flaps 30, 148, 111.10. Final approach course is 168. I'm going to dial this in here to my MCP real quick. Did you actually get into the wrong aircraft? This one has, yo, Liam, what's up, man? 68 months of support. Appreciate you, man. Nah, we're making big changes, man. Big changes today, or this year. Big changes. 111.1 will be the ILS. We'll tune that in. 111.1 ILS, both sides. That checks. Final approach course 168. Now for the minimums, now this is actually something that I don't know what we're going to set up. I have to do some looking up here. All right, Cat 2, Cat 3 approach review. So I'm going to review this. All right, preparation requirements here. Captain assumes pilot flying duties prior to the approach. That's because at my particular operator, Cat 2 approaches will actually be hand flown using the HUD. Actions and callouts for Cat 2. and Cat 3 are the same down to decision height. Must have a usable localizer inside the runway threshold. Use or see unreliable rollout guidance. That does not apply. Review low visibility taxi routes, but we'll see auto brakes. With less than 4,000 RVR, 3/4 auto brakes required.
All I know is that this morning, I didn't see not one plane nor hear one plane in the air. Lol, I'm sure they were taking off and landing even at 0 vis and 100 feet ceiling, but it was interesting that I didn't hear any.
Callie Simmer, thank you so much for another bank angle check. Yeah, it probably, they probably were still blasting off, but I guess it probably muffles the sound pretty good too, right? Kind of, it muffles everything down. I mean, I believe you. I know it's low vis. I mean, I've done a handful of really low vis approaches and departures in LA, and it's awesome. I love it. You know, low visibility ops, you really got to bring your A game. But as a pilot, I love it because in the sim you train for it all the time. But to get super low conditions, now if you're based in Seattle or Portland, probably a little bit more common. But for me, like I said, 10 years on the bus, I can count on one hand how many true 300 approaches Autolands I've done. I've probably done, maybe 8 or 10 approaches in that 5 to 1,000 RVR range, and then above 1,000 RVR, I've probably done a dozen or so, maybe more than that even. But to get down to true 300 RVR, it's not as common as you may think, because some low visibility out the window, you may think it's super low, but in reality, it's probably like 600 RVR. But yeah, so whenever the opportunity comes up, I always get, oh man, this is exciting. This is what you train for all the time, and to actually do it is pretty neat. So thank you for the support, Callie Simmer. So with less than 4,000 RVR, or 3/4 mile, which we have, auto brakes are required if operative. We're going to do auto brake 3. We're going to come back to that here in a minute, but I'm going to set it while we're talking about it. Disconnect autopilot no later than 1,000 feet for the Cat 2. Setting minimums for Cat 3, 50-foot decision height, radio.
Oakland Center, expect stutter 4, runway 35 left.
So radio, we'll accept that, and we're going to set 50 feet, which, look at that, it's already in there by default. 50-foot radio mins are set. VHF nav transfer switch is in normal, which it is. Display control switch is normal. Display selector switches are normal, so normal across the board. That looks good. MCP course set both to inbound course, which is 168. I verified that on the MCP. Flight director is on. For the HUD, we need to be in Alpha 3. So this is something I have no idea. IMC mode Alpha 3. Is that it? Guess that's it. ILS Alpha 3 mode is set. Okay. Does Cat 3 also include Cat 2? We have to talk through both. You would talk through both, Darth. I can't really show you what I'm reading here because it's proprietary stuff, but I'm sure if you Googled, if you just Googled approach briefings, you'll find something on the internet where you can see something very similar. But yeah, there's multiple pages, for 2 or 3. So continuing the review here for the HUD, runway length check, elevation, glide slope angle check. If available, all modes must be used below RVR 1800. If Alpha 3 is not available, Alpha 2 or IMC may be used down to 1200 RVR. We're going to practice it in Alpha 3. FMC approach procedure select, compare the approach chart waypoints and altitudes against the FMC legs. We'll do that. Modify if necessary. Cleared for the approach, we'll request approach, select request app, glide slope capture, set missed approach altitude no later than 1,000 foot. At the outer marker or equivalent, see deviation callouts at minimums. If the visual reference requirements descent below DH are not satisfied, execute the missed. Go-around requirements on final go-around segment, perform a go-around when a caution or warning is enunciated in the HUD or HAP. See HUD go-around requirements. Localizer glide slope indicator shows full deflection. 2.5 dots or more, and the magenta diamond goes hollow. The captain determines that a landing cannot be safely accomplished within the touchdown zone. Prior to DH, any of the required aircraft or ground equipment fails or engine fails and unable to maintain a stabilized approach will go around. Go around required at decision height. Requirements to continue approach below decision height have not been met. C, descent below minimums. And a reduction in visibility below DH would require go around. So descent below minimums. This is for Cat 1. Cat 2 does not apply. For Cat 3, that does apply because that's what we're setting up for. Descent below minimums, touchdown zone or touchdown zone lights are visually identified and maintained to verify the aircraft will land in the touchdown zone. All right. Lighting is in markings, can be found, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't apply. Cool. So we've gone through our briefing. So a couple of the things we're going to do here. I'm going to take a look at this HUD again. So we are Alpha 3 mode. ILS, that one. That looks good. Oops, wrong button. Mode Alpha 3 IMC with a 3-degree glide slope. So let's take a look at our chart. We do have a 3-degree slope. And now we're going to verify our FMC with that. I'm going to pull this out of the way so you can see that. So let's go to the legs page. We're coming down the approach. And I actually want to see if I have tutor. I don't have tutor in here. I have it from FAPN. No, let's go departure, arrival, 17 right from 2-door. Alright. Execute. Make sure everything looks good there. Plan, data mode, zoom it in. Alright. Now we go back here. Alright, from Kayla, I think we got a little, because I was on the approach when I modified it. Because we're going active Kayla, so I need to bring this Kayla to the top. Execute. There we go. Kayla Sutter Fools. Now we're cooking with gas. Now we are cooking with gas. That comes all the way down, shoots us out to 2-door. And now we can verify these. 1800 or above for FAPN, which is there. 1800 hard altitude for Jarnu, which is there. 3-degree slope. Glide path 3 degrees, that checks. Now, what's interesting is that says, oh, that's 153 miles. Okay.
Alaska 1325. Flight level 3.
Right, and then the missed approach. So missed approach is 500 right turn, 2,000 feet. Back out to Grime. Hold at Grime. That's in the box right there. Hold at Grime. 329. It's in the box. That's us. We'll descend via. We'll accept clearance. Bottom altitude is 4,000. You can see how. So I've done this. It's interesting. We're super busy. I know I'm not really reading any chat messages, but I've done this. My last like low vis approach was LA, and it was San Jose to LA, and we were setting up for the Cat 3, and the entire flight. It's just you take off, you start briefing everything, you start setting things up because it really adds to the workload here. All right, we got terrain display, so we still got to run our landing data. So let's come back here. And we're going to do landing en route, import from flight plan, Sacramento 17 right, import the aircraft deals with auto brakes 3, import weather, calculate. That has us stopping pretty early on. Now this is where we're going to modify. Let's go to our flight bag. Let's take a look at the airport charts on the 20-9 page. 17 right, where do we want to exit? Now if we were landing with low vis taxi routes, maybe going back to LA, we'll have to deal with this. But you're going to want to plan your braking to exit on a high-vis taxi route. That does not apply at this particular airport. However, we'll stick with auto brakes 3. I was going to change it to 2. But let's stick with 3 and see if we can't make Alpha 10 there or Alpha 11. Point being is Seattle is notorious for this. The high-speed turnoff for low-vis taxi route in Seattle is way towards the end of 16 center. So if you used high brakes, 3 or auto brakes, medium in the Airbus, and you get down to 30 knots, you know, a third of the way down the runway. Now you have to taxi the entire runway in super low vis until you get to that high-speed exit, which tower can't see you. You're just setting yourself up to be in a potential bad spot in super low vis. So you always kind of want to plan your deceleration around the appropriate high visibility taxiway exit. Again, does not apply here in Sacramento, so we'll leave it as auto brakes 3. But that's something you want to look at and brief. If you look at, as we start down here, 17 right, this is the equipment that is on the runway. So just like the aircraft has required equipment, we need to know what the runway has. 17 right has high intensity runway light system, centerline lights, ALSIF 2 with a note, with the number 2 note, which operates as a SALSAR, wow, till weather goes below a VFR. So it's an ALSIF 2 lighting approach system, but they actually run it in a less intense mode until it goes below VFR minimums. PAPI right with an angle of 3 degrees with RVR reporting. All right, if you follow the glide slope down, you're going to touch down. Usable landing length at the glide slope is 7,500 feet remaining. You got 150 feet wide runway. Now, if you look at this, it says 7,500 feet, but you're like, well, I thought the chart said it's 8,500. Well, yeah, the pavement is 8,500 feet long. However, if you land on a glide slope, where's that going to put you? Right on the touchdown zone markings, right? So they're anticipating that you land right at the aiming markers, which is going to cut down your available landing distance. So we actually have 7,500 feet remaining if we're on the slope. Now, this is going to be a practice auto land. I've never even tried to auto land the PMDG before, so we'll see how it does. But that would be kind of our approach briefing in a nutshell. We're coming down. We've already verified the fixes. We're in VNAV. You can see here on the FO side here, he's in Alpha 3 mode. I believe this is because we're not in ILS right now. We're not on the ILS. I think that'll change. I'm not sure. This is where it's completely new to me, and I haven't really got that far in my studying for HUD's HGS, but it's set up as best as I can tell. We're on the VNAV path headed down at a 26,000 feet. We've got our init ref 30,148, gross weight's 145,000 pounds. Let's see, prog fuel 9.2, 7.7 on the ground. Yeah, 9,200. Yeah, we're looking good. Well below max weight. Everything looks fine there. So, that's your approach briefing. Any questions? All right, no questions. Back to the chat. Max Rank, my man. Long time no see, 67 months of support, dude. Appreciate you. It says, can't believe it's been that long. 67, I can't believe it's been that long either, my man. Thank you so much, dude. It says, I've been AWOL most of the year, but when I return, V1 has gone Boeing. Unreal. Yeah, man. All is well here on the V1 Nation. Hope all is well with you, man. Good to see you. Long time no see. How are the auto brakes? The iFly is a lot better than the 2020 version with 1 and 2. When I fly the NG, I always use minimum of 3. Justin English, I really haven't had any issues with the auto brakes in the PMDG 7.3. Nothing seems abnormal to me. Oh, not fail operational. That's right. It's fail passive. So that's a whole nother thing. So Cat 3A, B, and C technically don't even exist anymore, right? We always used to, that was the old system. It was Cat 3A, Cat 3B, Cat 3C was the big one. Now it's just Cat 3 fail operational, Cat 3 fail passive. That is a whole nother discussion that 50% of line guys probably need refreshers on, myself included. It's just a different way of looking at it. It has to do with redundancy, and if something fails, what are you? Are you going to be, are you fail passive or you fail operational? If you fail operational, that's, I mean, the Airbus was fail operational. I know the 7.3 that I'm going to fly is technically under fail passive. But yeah, that's a whole nother stream. I got PAP3 and PFP3N. Love them. Thanks for that tip. Someday we can get a full sim pit walk around. Ooh, Darth Rust. Maybe. That's awesome, though. Glad you're liking them, man. I love them. We need a little speed break here. V Pilot Designs. How you doing, my man? Welcome on board. get this turned up a little bit. What about Cat 5?
Air 2301, contact Oakland Center 119.75. See you.
Center on 119.75. Horizon Air 2301. See you.
All right, I'm trying to look at my call-outs for Cat 3. That changes. Lights, all that stuff. Transmitter. Oh, that's Cat 3. So, request the approach. Select request approach. Autopilot auto throttle used during approach. Closely monitor autopilot operation. Keep one hand on the control wheel near the autopilot disengage switch. Minimize large abrupt throttle movements. Anticipate thrust changes and manually advance or retard the thrust levers as required. Keep one hand on the thrust levers and be prepared to override or disconnect the auto throttle if required. On approach, the auto throttle should be engaged or disengaged. Deselecting the MCP speed with the speed switch on the MCP is not authorized. When the auto throttle is in arm, they require a pitch mode change or alpha floor protection to advance an arm. The autopilot disengage possible to be under control of the thrust. Wow, okay. Captain problems. Captain problems. That's all I'm reading here is captain problems. When using LNAV to intercept final approach course, LNAV might parallel the localizer without capturing it. Use of VNAV may be used on approach in conjunction with any of the following roll modes. Use LNAV. What did that say? That would look like an important note. Where'd that go? Use of LNAV and VNAV until the FAF is recommended. Intercepting glide slope at the published glide slope intercept altitude marks the beginning of the FAF and ensures required obstacle clearance during descent. Where's Fly Navy when you need them? Interception and tracking of glide slope prior to published glide slope interception does not necessarily ensure maximum and altitude push from blah blah blah. That's glide slope from above. All right, cool. If LD is previewed, disregard enter -9 for distance correct. So yeah, so to set up the HGS, wow, alignment test. PRI IMCV mode select, align HUD, message on combiner, present, and wow, I just see more captain problems here. Checking in from Boston. What's up, McShiggity? There's 3 different HUD systems that we have. Approach 1 lights red, fail button. What do we have? No A3. Oh, wow. So I am looking at my HUD. Excessive deviation lights, no A3. So according to this panel, this is an HGS 4000, I think. This is an HGS 4000. We also have the BAE 2020, and we also have the Max HUD, which is an HGS 6000. HGS fails in red, arm white, rollout guidance lost. I was trying to see if I can find no A3. Oh, there's 18,000 feet. Doesn't matter. Time to... That's set. Current altimeter is 3029 is set. Seatbelt sign is coming on. Wing lights on. Nose lights are on. Alright. Alright, let's do a descent, or excuse me, a B4, or descent checklist actually. Altimeters 3029. Approach preparation completed. Pressurization check. Terrain display selected. Lights are set. Descent checklist complete. Winter recess has begun. My 4-month-long hiatus is over. Nice, Hunter. And we're going to have to engage the second autopilot, I believe, right, on this? Never been in the Guppy Cat 3 duel continuing. I know, man. I'm missing a ton of stuff, too, here.
Good morning, flight level 370.
I'm going to throw, what's the weather look like out there? Nothing that we have to worry about. It's just fog.
1456, Oakland Center, radar contact.
Yeah, it's just fog and low vis, so we'll keep terrain loaded up.
Skywest 725, flight level 340.
SkyWest 725 Oakland Center, radar contact.
Let's see. Cat 3 landing. I think we have to hand fly, right?
Contact Oakland Center 121.25.
Category
Center
3.
on 121.25. SkyWest 3141. Take care.
Southwest 357. Contact
Minimum RVR allowed prior to initiating approach. Touchdowns on mid RVR must be lower than published Cat 3 ILS approach chart.
Contact NorCal approach.
Which
Southwest
we have.
357. Have a good one.
Alert height is set. Can't have restricted captains on this.
357, 112,900 with information, Charlie.
Southwest 357 NorCal approach.
So at 50 feet, we have to disconnect and auto land. Right?
Altimeter 3030, expect the RNAV Zulu.
I'm curious if the PMDG will auto land it though. What should I do? Should I disconnect at 50 feet and land it, or should we see if it'll actually? I don't know.
Current altimeter 3030.
I'm still looking at my books here. 3030 set. Approach procedures. The captain will fly the approach and landing. We already did all that. Before going on when. LNP, we don't have to worry about that. LNP downgrade. Flight confidence checks. Cat 3 HUD qualification and currency, which I do not have. Approach profile. If it, at DH, if we do not have the minimum visual reference, execute the go around. So yeah, so we hand fly the Cat 3. We're slowing down. Here comes 10,000 feet. We'll get these on. Flight attendants prepare for landing. Still speed breaking us down here.
Southwest 1604. Contact
The Windwing, Matthew Scott, good to see you, says the Windwing stuff is absolutely amazing. We are working with them on tweaking. Try landing without hydraulics and you get tired. Man, I can only wait. I would love to get my hands on that Windwing yoke. I remember checking it out at Expo. Direct to where? Minor.
Cleared direct minor, cross minor at or above 9,000. Cleared RNAV Zulu runway 35 left, Southwest 357.
What, 35 left now? They said 17 right. Okay, no, we're not. I'm going to switch to tower. We're all set up for the ILS 17 right. That's what we're doing. Yes, that is Mathis Cock. That is the real Mathis, indeed. Pleasure to have you here, man. Yeah, so they're working hand in hand with Windwing. That'd be pretty sweet. I can't imagine hydraulic failure landing. That'd be fun. You remember them telling me to expect 3.5, Alexander? Whoops. I'm planning on 1.7. That's what we're doing. Oh, also working with Moza. Very cool. Very cool. I need to get my hands on a Moza yoke. I have the Brunner. Moza sent me the AB9, which I love. But I'd love to check out the Moza yoke. Colby Sullivan, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. Appreciate you. Do you think having a bachelor's degree will set you apart from other applicants when looking at airlines? It sure will, man. It sure will. Remember, anything that you can do to make yourself stand out from a slew of applicants is a good thing. Is it going to guarantee you a slot over someone else? No, but it can help you stand out, especially as competition gets harder. So, but thank you for the $5 super chat, Colby Sullivan. AJ Fernari, thank you for the $3 super chat. Puppies get beagle, daddy gets floor yoke. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that floor-mounted yoke, dude, would be next level. You're going to need a proper seat. You're going to need all kinds of things for that. Thank you, AJ. Appreciate you as well. All right, we're through 10,000 feet. Let's run a before landing checklist. To the line, please. Approach briefings completed. Seatbelts on. PA complete. Recall checked. Auto brakes as required. HUD is set. Radios and displays set and checked. All right, let's see what happens. I forget what we decided on. Are we doing 50 feet disconnect hand fly, or are we going to see if it'll auto land it? Yeah, kids get beagle. I knew what you meant, AJ. I knew what you meant. Helping with a profile, yeah, that would be good. I mean, we made the AB9 profiles for the Airbus, which seemed to be pretty popular. But yeah, I'd love to have a 7.3 profile for the Moza. A lot of people come in asking for a profile. I'm like, yeah, can't help you, unfortunately. I don't have the Moza yoke, but we've got one dialed in on the Brunner, and it is pretty sweet. If hand flying this thing is awesome, the Brunner. All right, speaking of, let's prep the landing cam. That's good to go. And let's also get flight recorder up as well. I'll try to do the Autoland test. We'll see. Gotta answer something there real quick. Nothing will go wrong. PMDG Autolands, no problem. All right, let's do it. Aaron, that's a good point. Says developers working on official profiles. That would be a big push to invest in force feedback. 100%. 100% agree with you, man. Force feedback is, in my opinion, the best way to increase your immersion. It's just so. Once you feel it and get to fly with force feedback, you'll understand. It just, I say especially GA, but really everything. I've always had fun flying GA, but GA is another one where it just being able to trim control forces off of the yoke. Your trim is alive. Without force feedback, I would argue that flying on the desktop sim is actually harder than real life because you don't have any real feedback. You have to visually see what your airplane is doing as opposed to feel what your airplane is doing when you have force feedback. NG model looks great. I love those views. You want a chem trailer? Yeah, that does look great. We didn't even get to the latest changelog update. Maybe we'll look at it on the way back. Just got my Moza, love it, but profiles definitely make or break it. Oh, for sure, Sandman. The AB9 profiles that we made for the Airbus, I mean, those are carefully crafted that we've tried to actually get the force down. And because you can look at the manual all day long and like, how many newtons of force at this? But I just had to go into the cockpit and move the stick around and measure the force and then just try to copy that. That's all we did. And we actually have two profiles for the side stick. One that's a little bit softer, like some of the older buses have, and then the new Neos always felt just a little bit more firm around the center, and we got that in there too. So there's two profiles available from the Discord. They're pinned. My Moza yoke has been collecting dust, just dying for it on the 737 on 2024. 2 more days, Osco Stick. 2 more days. The 18th is the projected release date right now for the 7.3, so you'll all be happy, happy, happy. I never got to fish scale the bus. I know, AJ. I had all the opportunities to. Gonna have to bring a fish scale to the 7.3. Mr. Randaz is in the house. Good to see you, man. It says 46 hours, not that I'm counting. I heard it here first. 46 hours and counting till release, chat. 46 hours. Somebody start a timer. 46 hours. Now this is interesting. We're passing the opposite center line here. All right, maybe we just got. I'm interested to see what this is. I have no idea what this symbology is. This is all captain problems. We're going to find out together, though. Down to 4,000. We'll be at 4. We'll actually go down to, for the intercept, let's pull out the approach. 1,600 or 1,800 at Fappin. So we'll descend down here in a minute. Why does the 787-10 have flaps 17 and 18? I have no idea, man. Because they designed it that way. It's my best answer. Just a little bit more fine-tuning, you know. Probably that specific wing. They needed something between flaps 16 and flaps 19, so they added 17 and 18. Oh, those are only for takeoff. Oh, okay. There you go. There you go. There's your answer. Ask and you shall receive. 17, 18, 19 are takeoff flap settings. Do we even have a 787 in 2024? I thought I saw XP72 fly on a 787 the other night. Is that a payware? I've completely blanked on 787 airplanes. The whole PMDG team is about to watch me land. Not me. They're going to watch their airplane Autoland. I'm not doing it. I know I was thinking about it, but now there's too much pressure. We're going to just let the airplane auto land. Hopefully, I set it up right. Again, I default to ask the captain on this. Not me. All right, we'll juice up the sounds here a little bit. Horizon Sim, but it's Matt. Oh, okay, that's interesting. All right, let's continue the descent. Let's drop her down to 2,000. We only have a fake 787 for now. What's up, XP? Good to see you, man. I watched a little bit of that 7.8 flight the other night. Listen, is that the outflow valve? Hold on. You hear that whooshing sound? I wish I could see the outflow valve position on the... Sometimes the Airbus did that as you start getting down real low. You'll hear it just kind of equalize. All right, we're going to sync our heading. Heading, select, and level change. Down to 2,000. Flaps 5. Did you set runway length and elevation in the HGS? I did not. Is that why it's saying no A3? Runway elevation. Oh, that's how you do it? Shoot. 25. Again, these are 2.5. Length. 89. Oh, it's not 8,900 feet. There we go. No, we don't arm them yet. Oh, it's in meters? RIP. Meters for length. That's all right. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Got plenty of runway. We'll be fine. All right, let's clean up the line here. Let's take off Tudor to the top. Inbound course 168. Execute. We could take it inside of Tudor, technically. Outside air temp plus 19. We got plenty of temp. I'm gonna take it out past Tudor because technically we have to, it's recommended to join in LNAV first, according to what I'm supposed to be doing. I guess we could turn inbound and just join inbound course to FAP, but that's fine. We'll beam it, we'll be fine. XLR flap takeoff is as follows: 1 plus F, 1 alpha plus F, 2 alpha, 2 bravo, 3 alpha, 3 bravo, so 8 different takeoff lettings for the XLR. That's awesome, man. Southwest 357, turn right heading 360. Cut it in here. Southwest 357, continue right turn heading 080. Vectors final. So 168 minus 30 is 138. It's got to be less than that. Southwest 357, turn right, heading 120, maintain 2000 till 7 cleared ILS, run 17 approach. Alright. VOR Loc, glide slope. Recording is on. We'll ease out the turn here and make it 130 to join. So no A3 means no auto land, really. So then we'll have to disconnect at 50 feet and hand fly it. There's the load. Do not go command A and B. There we go. Command B and A is on. Okay. That's literally my first ever attempted Autoland. Alright, 147 is what we need now. 30, 147, and 5 is going to be 152. Alpha 3 is just a HUD over. Excuse me, Alpha 3 is just a HUD overlay that outlays the runway. Okay. So that's because the runway information hasn't been entered properly, I guess, so it won't give you a runway overlay, I'm assuming. Yep, we're dual channel. We're command A and B. They're set on both channels, man. On both 111.1, both sides. We're actually going to come back because we're right at 2,000. No, we're fine. We're fine. It's going to be a quick configuration change here. The glide slope's alive. Yes, both autopilots are engaged. I can tell because I'm looking at my situation. This panel right here. Guess we can leave that on if you like that. It's my landing mode. All right, here comes glide slope. Glide slope capture. See, we got single channel. Gear down. Flaps 15. I'm not supposed to have single channel ILS. I don't believe. Alright. Below the line. Speed brakes armed. Green light. Gear down. 3 green. Flaps. 30, green light, landing checklist is complete. There we go. Flare is armed. Chat, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. Flare is armed. Hands on the throttle, ready to take over in case things get cooked here. Go on altitude set 2,000.
1,000.
It's actually pretty low.
Traffic.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. We're not gonna comply, I know. Actually, you know what? Here. That dead to me traffic. Can't be having that. Damn, this is why you set up for it, the Cat 3. Look at that, we're coming down to 200 feet. If we were set up just for the Cat 1, we'd be getting ready to go missed. Yep, there's 200 feet. go around flaps, right? If we did Cat 1, that's why we practice. Holy crap, there's a runway. Oh my gosh, what do we do? This is scary.
100.
There's the alert height.
Minimums.
Continue.
30, 20, 10.
Oh my goodness. Textbook. There's the auto throttle disconnect. PMDG is goated, guys. That was freaking sweet. Oh my word. Manual brakes. That was terrifying. I am so glad that's captain problem now. So our SOP at 50 feet, we got to disconnect and hand fly that sucker. I haven't had to do that since I was at a regional, because we used to do Cat 2s hand flown. Wow. I'm gonna have to watch the replay back because we got down pretty low. I actually don't even know when I think we were pretty close to 50 feet before we saw visual references. My goodness. That was so much fun, man. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll get clear of the runway. We'll take our time here. We'll set things up. Stop. Boom. The flaps after landing stuff. We'll get all this. Trim's going to come back to... Oh. There we go. It helps if you disconnect the autopilot, right? Let me do my first officer flow. So I'm going to bring my trim back to 5 units. If I can. Okay, close enough. I guess not. Let's see. That's down. We'll do RTOs coming off. Come up to the overhead. That looks good. Everything's fine up there. We'll get the APU cooking. We'll get the lights, and we'll taxi in slow. Anti-collision is off. Position and strobe will go steady. Logo can come on. Window lights off. All right, let's take it into the ramp. And flight directors off as well. So we exited, did you see the sign? I think we took the first left, right? So we should be Yankee in. Come right and then make a left. I think the terminal is right here. Wow. Aren't we glad we prepped for the Cat 3 on that? Man, the flaps have been modified again. And they sound even better than the last version. AJ, thank you for the $3 super chat as well. Is V1 appreciating the guppy a little bit? Man, after that Autoland, man, I am in love, dude. Alpha Whiskey Yankee 2, thanks, Fly by Tim. Yeah, there's the terminal. We should have gone the other way. That's all right. We're going to go Alpha, I guess Bravo 1 in. We'll come make the left down here. But welcome to Low Vis Ops. It's actually lower here than it was in LA when we took off. Shout out to PMDG on that one. That was cool. All y'all tripping out about no A3, it worked just fine. It's amazing when you follow the procedures. We even had the runway thing that popped out. That was so cool. Wingnut's in the house. What's up, man? I'm going to stop the recording. We'll save that. All right, we'll take the cargo ramp in. We really screwed the pooch on exiting. Oh, you know what? We exited down here. Shoot, we got to make a 180 at the cargo ramp. At ground. Go ahead, Southwest 357. Yeah, we missed the turn off there. Can we make a 180 in the cargo ramp? Southwest 357, Roger. Make a 180 in the cargo ramp there, and when you're ready, just give me a advisory to copy a phone number for you. We can't have you taxiing all around willy-nilly. Southwest 357, Roger. Yeah, we cooked that one there. I was so impressed by the landing. Oh, this is awesome, though, with the tiller. I could feel the difference here. A little bit of differential brake. Swing her all the way around. Nice 180 there. Sweet. So this is great. Guys, I am mashing my rudder pedals left and right. You see how much more dampened it feels? That's great. So before, I think part of the problem was just a little bit of rudder input when because I have mine set to tiller, or rudder and tiller, I guess. And sometimes the rudder would almost interfere. Like, look, hands off the tiller, right? So here I'm mashing my rudder pedals left and right. That's way more believable. So you could kind of nurse the center line here. And then the tiller, if I go hands on the tiller now, that feels good. That feels really good. Is there a tiller only? So Osco Stick, I believe it's tiller rudder. So because you want to be able to have some rudder control just like the real jet. You have, I don't know the amount of degrees with the rudder linkage, and then after a few degrees you basically go to the tiller. I'm going to pull up the menu here real quick. PMDG, setup, options, simulation. So tiller plus rudder. I'll show you on here. So I've got tiller plus rudder because you want to be able to have a little control for centerline on a long straight taxiway with the rudder, and then tiller, you have a dedicated tiller axis. 7 degrees, Wingnut, thank you. I'll keep that for my check ride. 7 degrees. All right, APU's on bus. I really don't know where we are. This looks like not the terminal either. Guys, where the heck are we? We're on Bravo 3. We're lost in Sacramento. We turned in right here. We should be able to go left. We missed the alpha turn. Taxiing is a captain problem, agreed. I don't know if this connects. There's alpha back there. Well, we wanted to test PMDG's new taxiing. It's definitely a captain problem, guys. See? Put me in the right seat. I've completely forgot how to drive around an airport. Oh, we're getting our 180 turn on taxiway practice. The Home Alone sequel lost at Sacramento Airport. On the jet, plus minus 10 degrees of rudder input via the pedals will give you plus or minus 7 degrees nose wheel steering. Tiller will give you plus minus 73, 75 degrees depending upon speed. Very cool. So that's what we were just talking about, guys. So Rondazzo's, you get plus or minus 10 degrees on the pedal, which gives you plus minus 7 degrees of nose wheel steering. Now with the tiller, you go all the way up to 73 to 75, but that's going to be dependent on your speed. So you can't just, it just makes it easier to control. All right, so we're not going to go there. We're going to go all the way until we see taxiway Yankee. This is Bravo 1. We got to go to Yankee. The 7.3 now does correct turning circle. I did hear a bit of shrubbing though, so I should know this. Let me think real quick. The radius is 74 feet, nose radius, 74.8, I think. I know the max is, the tail radius is actually less on the max, or more on the max. 75 on the max, I think. Somewhere in there. All right, so we passed that. This is Bravo 1. We could take this. which it is. So let's take Bravo 1. We'll take Bravo 1. We won't go all the way to Yankee. We'll just park at the pier. My goodness. If you go herking on the tiller, you'll start scrubbing the nose wheel. It gets louder the more you abuse it. Really? Let's do a hard 90 here. Let me turn up the sounds. Get a little speed. Let's abuse the tiller here. Let's make a hard left turn. Here we go. Hard left turn. Ooh. Makes my skin crawl. All right, here we are. Taxi light is off. We're going to take this gate right here. Yeah, you typically don't want to hear that scrubbing sound. Clear right, Cap. Get her straight here. Erp. Brake set. APU's on bus. Oh, that should have been on. My bad. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sacramento. All right, we'll set chocks. Maybe. We've still got rotation. There we go. Chocks are set. Jet bridge is coming over. We put that on arrival hold. Let's get ground vehicles. Let's request all. And we'll do the turnaround. That was very cool. We're going back to LA, man. We're going back to LA. So I'm going to save that replay. I mean, the question is, do we just turn around and go back to LA, see if we can get caught in another low vis, or do we reset? I kind of just want to turn back. That was my first ever Autoland. We're going to save this one, though. SMF 737 Autoland. Saved. That was very, very cool. I kind of want to, let's turn around so we can use the HUD for departure. That's what we're going to do. Landing rate, thrust set, good call. Let's take a look. Was better than most of mine. 205 feet per minute for the Autoland, according to Volanta. 205 feet per minute. Right on the touchdown zone markers. I mean, that was textbook. That was a textbook Autoland from the 737. All right, fueling has showed up. Everybody's here. Let's go ahead and connect the ground power. And APU bleeds coming off. Packs are off. And APU is spooling down. I should have done fuel tank pumps. It's captain problem. We're on ground power. We're looking good. All right. Turn time. Turn time indeed. Let me get another flight plan filed. Can you tell the difference in roll authority? Flap 30 to 40, how does it land flap 15? Wingnut, I'm just trying to land flaps 30 right now, man. We'll get to, I did do a few flap 40s early on. I like flap 40. But I have not tried a flap 15 at all yet. Have not tried a flap 15 at all. All right, let's flip the departure arrival. We'll file this. We'll get beyond ATC on. We'll go back to LA. See if we can't get a Cat 3 going in there. There's the APU shutting off. 1945. We're refiled. .17, the right for departure. Yes, that's what I want. All right, generate. All right, we're cooking. Let's go ahead and get you back to the main menu. All right. I'll tell you what, let's take a 5-minute break.
Beyond ATC connected.
And where's my camera tilted? We will get her loaded up for going back. So I'm gonna close that. Let's get our timer on. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. Buster 737, what I like better? Well, you're gonna have to ask me when I actually fly the airplane, man. But so far, I'll tell you what, man. I'm just excited. I'm excited for something new. Can you fault me? I'm excited for something new. More hands-on. I don't know. I've been whining and dining with the tray table and everything for the last decade, so I'm ready. I'm ready to do some flying, man. So with that said, thank you, JJ Stevens, for the $2 soup chat. Quick turnaround time. I hit the lav, and we're going to head right back to LAX after this. So stick around. I'll see you on the return leg.
2.06. Altimeter 3029er. Landing and departing runways 17 left, 17 right. Red Beckle hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information whiskey. Sacramento
Almost ready.
Airport information whiskey. 1617 Zulu. Wind 190 at 7. Visibility 18. Temperature 06. 2.06. Altimeter 3029er. Landing and departure.
About to leave. Any questions I can still answer? Well, there's your opportunity, guys. If you have anything to ask Mr. Mathis, if you've got any questions, now will be the time. Thank you for stopping by, though, man. Appreciate you. We got everything fired up here. We're going to do leg 2 on the way back to LAX. I think we still need to move on the new ground vehicles into the new build. They all look pretty detailed now. Nice. You know what I just noticed? Yeah, these are actually different looking ground vehicles. Yeah, before they used to all say PMDG, right? They do look different. We got the fueler out here doing fueler things. So cool. Yeah. Alright, let me get this out of here. What was I supposed to check? Mathis gave me something in DMs? What? All right, we're all filed. We're ready to go. Let's do it. Good song. All right. Sim brief has been refiled. We are 145, 357. We got 1 hour airtime. Excellent. So, transient flow. Oh, you asked for the Powerball numbers. Yeah, that would be something, wouldn't it? All right, our transient flow, we're going to just rip right through this. Everything is good up here. Everything is coming down. This panel is looking good. We'll close you. We'll get these back on. That's off. All our doors are open. That's associated. Going back, looking at the flight plan, cruise altitude again, 37,000 feet. That seems high, but we'll do it. 370 will set you. 370 is set up there. Everything across the board here, terrain mode is on. You know what I forgot to reset down here is I forgot to reset transponder to standby. That's good. Everything else, we skip all the fire tests again. We'll skip all that. That's all done. Cool. So transient, much easier. Let's get our clearance out of here. Let's pull out our new data.
Ready to pick up IFR clearance to Los Angeles.
Southwest tree 57, capital clearance, cleared to Los Angeles. Foothill tree departure, Freon transition, then is filed. Maintain for 1000. Departure frequency 127.4. Squawk 0 for tree 6.
That was quick.
Cleared to Los Angeles. Foothill tree departure, Freon transition, then is filed. Maintain 4000. Departure frequency 127.4. Squawk 0 for 36, Southwest 357.
Let me reset the flight tracker so we have landing rate going back.
121.7 when ready for pushback or engine start.
Ground 121.7 when ready, Southwest 357.
All right, we got our flight tracker set up for the return now as well. All right. All right. Looks like there's some weather to the north of us. 17 right for departure, huh? Squawk 0436. Put that in the code down here, 0436. And let's go ahead and do this down here. Route uplink ready. We'll load that. We'll get you going. 17 right, Foothill 3. No, I'm not using local voices. I'm using the premium voices. Matthew says we're not planning a no winglet at this moment. Sorry, any new version is a huge additional load. Oh, that's what I was going to ask that. Yeah, man, yeah, the winglet version. We got the 600 for that, but yeah, we used to have a wingletless 800, right? Then we could fly for Alaska. All right, departure, arrival. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do F12 for you guys. And we're Foothill 3, 17 right. Foothill 3. We're going out to Frankfurt today. Yes, we are. Frankfurt, transition, execute. Go back to the index, LAX. We'll plan 24 right. Probably another island. Now, this one, what I'll try to do is I will try to disconnect at 50 and manually land in LAX like we're going to. 24 right, Ironman 2. Ironman
Southwest
2.
2255, contact Capital
Off
Tower
of
125.7, take care.
Execute. That looks
Over to
good.
Tower 125.7, Southwest 2255.
We'll check out
Have
the
a good
legs
morning.
page here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I need to put you into plan mode. That's the miss. I'll go back to the top. I'm really missing that EFIS here. Coming down the arrival. All the speed altitudes are in there. Takes us all the way out. And we got Circus. We actually don't even need Circus in there. We could probably delete Circus, but we'll leave it for now. Alright, that looks good. Go back to the init. So what we'll do is...
Southwest 1604.
Let's
Gate Bravo,
load the
18
aircraft.
Taxi via Delta 9er, Delta, Charlie 1, Yankee 2, Yankee.
Load from Simbrief. Now that we're loaded from Simbrief, fuel tank pumps coming on, nothing in the center. APU is going to get started. Seatbelt sign is coming on. Post that. We can run a before start checklist to the line. Alright, parking brake is set. Oxygen check. Nav transfer and display switches normal and auto. Window heat is on. Pressurization auto and set. 100 feet for LA. It's actually... Is it 100 feet for LA? I think it is. Yeah, 100 feet for LA. Auto and set. Train display selected. MCP. That's what we need to set. I forgot that. Flight director, auto throttle. Flight director, 168, 168. Foothill 3 departure is... what? Foothill 3 departure. SID. Top altitude. That must, am I doing something or is it kicking me back to that main screen when I zoom in sometimes? Uh, 17 doesn't really say. Initial climb. Maintain. Flight level 190. Alright, 168. We'll do our speeds. I'm actually going to zero this out till I get our V2 speed. 168, 168, 19, 168 across the board. Cool. That's all set. So MCP, and we'll actually be a LNAV, and we can't arm VNAV yet, but we'll have LNAV armed for now because we got to get our weights. Fuel quantity and distribution. We got 13,000 pounds in check. CDU checked. Engine start levers cut off. Transponder TARA. Aileron rudder trim 00. Departure briefing complete. Fasten seatbelts are on. APU is on buses. Silly captain. Keep forgetting that. APU's on buses. Fuel panel set. Flight forms AML. Onboard accepted. Aircraft is 8520 Quebec. EEDs are off. Before start checklist to the line. About 3 minutes there. Let's get some bleed going to the cabin. While that happens, we will start closing up shop with the ground ops. Let's go ahead and release all vehicles. There goes the fueler door. There's a Southwest next to us. There's a bunch of Southwest next to us. Alright, so they're all gone. Door management. Let's go ahead and close all the doors. You can release the ground power and you can release the jet bridge. Let's bring in our weights. 26. Reserve 2.9. Costa next 55. 370. Load the rate. Trim for takeoff will be 4.76.
Delta. Charlie 1,
Speed 148.
Yankee Southwest 2719.
Alright, and we can remove chocks. Alright, I'll do my flow as we get ready for engine start. Refueling's complete. Hydraulics are coming on. Packs off, APU bleed is on. Anti-collision light, doors out. Verify hydraulic is juiced, 2960. What's our oil at? 1817. We're looking good there as well. So, before start checklist below the line. Probe heat on, hydraulic panel set, doors, windows, double check, closed and locked. Anti-collision light is on, before start checklist is complete, call for push. And ground, Southwest 357, request pushback and engine start. I don't know, I gotta get used to that again. Gotta learn how to call back.
Southwest 357, Capital Ground, pushback approved, face south.
Alright, we're going to face
Pushback
north
and engine
because
start approved, face south,
we're going to
southwest
17 right, so.
357.
Alright, cockpit to ground, brakes release, clear to push. I noticed something that we forgot in our transient flow, auto brake. Alright, so what else are we missing? We got that MCP is set now, all the way done. RTO is set, hydraulics are good, speeds are set. HUD, we actually need to get HUD set up here. IMC. Let me see what the HUD setting is for takeoff. I don't know. What's our visibility right now? Let's go to the home page. Sacramento right now is half mile. Visibility 3/4 from the tower. So technically, we don't need the HUD because it's not below 1600 RVR. Like, look, if you saw this, you'd be like, this is really low, but this is still half mile viz, right? So it's not that low. I dropped a super chat, but I spent that on GPU bracket. Thanks. Dude, that's such a bummer, man. That is such a bummer. It's all good, man. We know you're suffering. Flight Navy's got a $6,000 paperweight at home because he listened to Turk Heron for his PC supplies. Push complete, set brakes, brake set. Let's go ahead, ground 2. I really want to listen to the flap deployment on this one. Are we required to use every takeoff? I don't believe. I don't know. I don't know, Wingnut. I don't know. Aviator Legend, I think we are. So it should be pretty low when we get back. Fuel on. Spar lights, engine valve lights, illuminate and extinguish. Light off. Let me look at the... LAX 1/16th, yes. 1/16th mile. That's awesome. Good start on 2, grounding 1. Look at the EGT going down. There's N1 rotation. Fuel on. 2 light ups, and then they will extinguish. Beautiful. So I'm going to do my flow from here. We're going to set 4.7.
Gate Bravo 21, request pushback.
Southwest 1188, Capital Ground, pushback and engine start approved, face east.
Pushback and engine start approved,
face east, southwest 1188.
Trim, flaps 5, up to the overhead, auto. That should have been an auto, it's alright. Auto, off, and then El Capitan is going to go here, going to go here, going to go here. Wait for our flaps 5 green light. And check the button down here. After start checklist, please. After start checklist, analyze as required. Generators on, air conditioning and bleeds set. Flaps set. Flight controls checked. Recall checked. For after start checklist complete. Let's go. Ground Southwest 357 ready taxi. Taking a really long time to process the speech today at the Beyond ATC facility.
Southwest 357, runway 17 right, taxi via Yankee 4, Bravo 1, Alpha, Alpha 3. Runway 17 right, taxi via Yankee 4, Bravo 1, Alpha, Alpha 3, Southwest
Yankee 4.
Southwest 1188, taxi for departure.
Yankee 4 Bravo 1. He wants me to do a 1. That's why he wanted me to Southwest. Alpha, Alpha 3.
Right, taxi via Yankee 4,
So,
Bravo,
brakes
2,
released.
Alpha,
Why?
Alpha 3.
Why do I not
Taxi via
have...
Yankee 4, Bravo, Bravo 2, Alpha, Alpha Tree,
There
Southwest
we go.
1188.
Nav on. Let's not get lost here. So, right turn. We need to go down to Bravo 1.
Delta 1278, gate Alpha 3 taxi via Delta 9er, Delta Charlie 3.
Is this way. Follow that guy. I'm going to follow Southwest.
Alpha 3 via Delta 9er, Delta Charlie 3, Delta
Follow Southwest.
1278.
Follow company ahead if you're lost. Alright, we'll follow company ahead.
Skywest 33.
I don't know why we can't just go out the other way, but we'll follow.
Taxi via Alpha 11, Alpha Bravo 1, Yankee 4.
Ramp Whiskey 4 tree via Alpha 11, Alpha Bravo 1, Yankee 4,
Takeoff
Skywest
config
3323.
Checked. Alright, cool. Can you do the takeoff? I just did it. Let me see, Wayne. I'll maybe my throttles were in the way. Let me do it again for you. I'll zoom in on it. So we're at idle and takeoff config check. It moves up like an N1 or 2. I don't know what the real ones do. You let me know. Pilot Depth, thanks for the support, man. 15 months as a member. Appreciate you. Oh, you know what? We forgot to deploy the flaps from Wingview with our new flap sounds. Alright. I don't know why I made us go this way. Did I miss Bravo 1? I don't know. I'm following company ahead. Yep, there's Bravo 2, so we screwed that up. Again, captain problems. Alright, Bravo 2, and then we gotta eventually get onto Alpha here, which is right here. Alpha. Lucas Puncton here, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. Yeah, your everyone's names changed, dude. Thanks for the 2 hey guys, appreciate you. New job, going well, man. I haven't actually started in the Sims yet, but we've been prepping. And all is well, man. Did my first little bit of in-dock training already, did some base in-dock, and now it's home study for this holiday season, and then I go back on the 10th. What's up, Jason? How do I feel about the sounds compared to Boris? I like them, man. I think Boris is also very good. We'll have to check when Boris gets released too, because I only did a flight or two with the Boris sound pack. That was over a year ago, so I don't even remember. I do like, there were some little things that I like that Boris did, like when you deploy the jump seat and you get some, what's it called, not cookies, but little troll audio clips. You get some more effects. You get cabin rattling, you get the window rattling, you get the baggage or the bags in the overhead bin shifting. So you definitely get a little bit more enhanced sound pack with Boris, from what I can remember. I do really want to check. I'm curious when he's going to get his updated too, so we can take a listen. But as far as the default, I mean, this is a huge improvement. Before, it was almost like the PMDG lacked a life of its own. It almost seemed sterile in the default sounds. Oh my God. It almost sounded like the original default sounds seemed a little sterile, but this, now being default, is very, very good. It's a huge step up. So for those of you that don't want to spend any additional money on a sound pack, or for whatever reason you want to stick with default sounds, I mean, it's a really, really good sound pack compared to what they used to publish default. Still searching for the runway? No, we're on Alpha now. We figured our way out of here. Will he tell me what the RVR is? Southwest 357. Do you have an RVR report for 17 right? Go ahead. What? We're going down to Alpha 3. Bobtech, I don't think I've seen a price yet.
Southwest 357, RVR information is unavailable.
Oh, RVR unavailable. So that means it can't be controlling if it's unavailable. So you got a visibility report for Southwest 357?
Southwest 536, request taxi.
Hey, cut me off.
Southwest 536, runway 17 right.
George, what's up, man? Just had an interview with Republic. Fingers crossed. Man, hopefully it goes. Hopefully it went well, man. Best of luck to you. Republic Airlines.
Capital Ground Southwest 357.
Public Airways.
Visibility information is unavailable.
Visibility unavailable. All right, well then we're good to go. So in that case, we're gonna go reset barrel.
Contact Capital Tower 125.7. See you.
Update our barrel ref 3029.
125.7, Southwest 357.
All right, so taxi, we got our stab trim set, flaps 5 green light, takeoff data and bugs. LNAV, VNAV speeds are set 168, 148. Up to the overhead bleeds packs are auto. And then takeoff config, check this thing at the bottom. Let's do it. Before takeoff checklist, to the line, please. Takeoff data and bugs, closeout received and checked. Flaps 5, a green light. Stab trim, 4.7 units. Takeoff brief complete. HUD is set in a minute. Generators on, AC and bleeds are auto and set. HUD's coming down. I wonder if it should be in VMC primary. No. All right, below the line. MCP ND checked, runway 17 right. PA's complete, light set for takeoff, checklist complete. Tower Southwest 357, holding short 17 right, ready for departure.
Southwest 357, Capital Tower, wind 190 at 7, fly heading 110, runway 17 right, cleared for takeoff.
Fly heading 110, runway 17 right, cleared for takeoff, Southwest 357.
All right, let's go. double check we were. Yep. The Southwest allowed to stop and hold short as their SOP? Just say send it, dude. Yeah, probably the latter. All right, 17 right. There we go. That's pretty low. This is definitely a Captain takeoff visibility right here. Below 1600 RVR for sure. This is probably closer to 600 RVR. This is pretty low. We got one runway stripe. I can see the threshold, so it's at least 3. It's over 300. It's probably 500 to 600 RVR right now. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Spool them up 40%.
Southwest 536, ready to go. Runway 17 right.
Southwest 536, hold short of 17 right, departing
Toga.
traffic.
We'll go hold short of 17 right, Southwest 536.
Love it. Here we go.
Southwest 536, runway 17 right,
80.
line up and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 17 right, Southwest 536.
V1 rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
You're up. No need to fly with. Let's just fly the departure. 20 degrees. LNAV VNAV speed. Here comes the left turn.
Southwest 536, Capital Tower, wind 190 at 7, fly heading 120, runway 17 right, cleared for takeoff.
Fly heading 120, runway 17 right, cleared for takeoff, Southwest 536.
Southwest tree 57, contact NorCal departure.
Flaps 1.
Southwest tree 57, NorCal departure, radar contact, clear direct foothill.
Flaps up.
Foothill tree.
Have to take off checklist.
Level 180.
All right, Command A, F takeoff checklist. Flaps up, no light, gears off, RTO off. Leads and packs are auto. Set APU as required.
NorCal departure, Southwest 536, 700 feet.
Nice, chat. Nice.
Southwest 536.
How do I like the force feedback yoke? Game changer, man. Force feedback yokes are game changing. If you want to maximize your realism, there's nothing like having a force feedback yoke. I promise you that. This Christmas, you need to think about getting force feedback, either a side stick or a yoke, because it is that much of a game changer. I promise you. All right, so we got to be IMC there for that. Yeah, Sandman, Thursday is going to be 7-3, a 7-3 day for sure. Man, look at the clouds. Look at this. The beautiful wing flex that the wings are just wobbling out there. Sim Update 4 is the best, man. And I've run this entire stream with no auto FPS, guys. That's what blows my mind. No auto FPS and streaming, just performance is incredible. With the low visibility, all these clouds. Love it. You already took Thursday off, AJ? Nice. We'll have to stream Thursday. We'll have to stream NG. I kind of want to stream. If I stream, I would love to stream the NG, the PMDG. But if I stream in X-Pilot Platinum, oh no, if I stream in X-Plane, we can use Iveo Platinum. You know? I could, I'll get rid of the HUD now. Let's climb out. I need a sunshade. You have a sunshade around here? What, can you have a sunshade and the HUD? Nope. That's cool. You can't have a sunshade in the HUD. That is so cool, though. Alright, we'll kill that. I flew to Says to Lima 4-1 for sunrise. Looked incredible. Oh, highballer. Yes, man. What are we going to do tonight, guys? So, we're either going to do Aerostar or Black Square. Aerostar or Black Square tonight, and we got to come up with a route. There's 10,000 feet. The retracts are coming off. That's come off. Let's see if there's another chime I'm supposed to do. Yeah, 10,000. I need to do the sterile chime. There we go. Yes, yes. Starship. Oh, we could do Starship. I need some practice with the Starship though. That's the thing. I haven't done a Starship. I haven't had time to do a Starship practice flight. If I had to choose one of the Black Square planes, which would you go for? Well, do you want a turbine or a turboprop, or do you want a piston? That's what you have to ask yourself first. Do you want a turboprop or a piston? If you can answer that, then we can give you the answer. They're all so good, man. You're not gonna buy a wrong one, pilot guy. I promise you. Real life cloud surfing here, guys. Baron or Duke has been the most fun for fly. Yeah, Twifosp, I agree. The Duke is amazing. The Baron is amazing too. Don't usually get to catch you live, but home recuperating from a knee replacement. Ouch. Thanks for the entertainment and education. Nanovic. Well, we wish you a speedy recovery, man. Thank you for the 33 months of support. Thank you for supporting the channel, being a commercial pilot here at V1 Nation. Thank you for all the support, man. Oh, you want a turboprop? It's probably going to go Duke then. It's either going to be, do you want a turboprop because you want to simulate having more money than you know what to do with? Go with the Duke. If you want a turboprop that has almost like regional airline capabilities, go with the Starship. The Starship is as close as you're going to get to a prop liner, but it's a GA airplane, but it's got a whole lot of stuff. But it's also very unique, so it may not be for everybody, but it is, to me, it's one of the best add-ons out there. All right, 370, we'll spin that in the window here. Yeah, the Bonanza turbocharger, they're all so good, dude.
Southwest 536, passing 16,000 for flight level 190.
Oh, you know what? I keep forgetting about the TBM. We could check out the TBM tonight. I don't know. I think we'll check out the Aerostar because everyone wants to say that, you know, I got to check out the Aerostar since release. I haven't given it a fair shot since release, and I agree. So let's do that. We'll give it a check tonight. Aerostar, I think. 18,000 feet. STDs are set. The rest of our lights are coming off. Now we can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the jump seat view here. None of the King Airs and Microsoft feel great to me. Yeah, I know. I really wish we had a good King Air. That is what we are solely missing. Yeah, Outer Marker, the Aerostar's got all the updates. I know. I need to check it out because I haven't actually checked it out since it's been released. A fair V1 review. Let's take a look at this mediocre airplane that's not as good as my favorite airplane at Sim. Wingnut's just salty because he knows that the Dukes are amazing and he's upset that they're so good and that he's stuck on 2020 because he has a $6,000 PC at home. That's a brick. So Wingnut bought a PC with a 5090 in it, and he did not buy the GPU support bracket. Now, this is interesting. For those of you that have bought pre-builts before, I've bought one pre-built. Well, it wasn't a pre-built. Like, I had a company put it together, and then they shipped it, so I guess that's technically pre-built. When they shipped it to me, my GPU was not even in the case. The GPU was in its own box, and then they did the foam thing for everything else, right? So at Wingnut's situation, he had a 5090 attached to his motherboard, no support bracket because he tried to save $5, and then the foam job that they did when they filled it with foam, it was very terrible. I saw a picture of it. So his motherboard is cooked. It fails to boot. So all in thanks to Herein, who suggested that he buy a PC from these people and not get the $12 support bracket. Meanwhile, Turk bought the support bracket for his, and his PC works just fine. But I'm pretty sure his motherboard is cooked because it won't boot. It keeps throwing an error code 01 with the green light. We had green artifacting on the screen. And then when he goes to iGPU, it seems to work. But then the monitor that's on the 5090 does not work. So something got borked in shipping. That's the only thing I can think of. But I was shocked when they shipped it with the GPU connected. I know you said narrow bodies are your career for now, but if you had to jump to the big boys, what would your choice of airframe be? A340 600 domestic turns only. Nanovic, I flew a 787 the other day domestically to Miami, and I walked around, I snooped around on the 7.8, and I don't get excited, man. I can't imagine being on that, that coffin for 15 hours at a time. It just doesn't appeal to me, man. It does not appeal to me. I don't know why. I think I know why. I think it has to do with the fact that I am a true aviation enthusiast when it comes to classic aircraft and wide bodies, and to me, the 747 is probably the greatest of all time. If I had the opportunity to fly the 74, I would do long haul in the 74. But to get on a Temu 777 that's got Walmart parts and it's plastic princess, like nah. Spend 15 hours at a time. Like, oh, you only fly 3 trips a month. Yeah, at 30 hours a pop in flight, 15 hours there, 15 hours back. Double red eyes. If I had to pick one, though, for real, Victor, 777 to me is where it's at. I think the 777 is the last true, good Boeing airplane. I like the 350. As far as the visual aspect is concerned, but you talk about boring. I mean, the A320 is so automated, I can't imagine having a more automated airplane and fly longer. That just seems incredibly boring to me. I like doing short flights up and down. Takeoff and landings are the best part of any flight. No one is going to say, oh, the best part of flying is sitting in a cruise. No. Takeoffs and landings are the best part. You need to work with Ryanair. Any chance for some jet time? I don't know who jet time is. Dandry, that's an interesting point. Wingnut, did you move your 5090 to a different slot? Or did you already pack it up? He might have packed it up already. Wingnut got really scared. He didn't want to even move his RAM around to try to troubleshoot. So I think he might have packed it up already. But that would have been a thing to try. Is we had him disconnected, reconnected, but you should have plugged it into a different slot. That would have been a good idea. Plus, you'd have to be a Delta guy with a stick up your hat to fly the 350. True story, Wingnut. Ain't nobody got time for that. Jet Time is Danish charter. Wow, never heard of them. Maybe in the future. I could go for a Danish right about now. Hold on, I gotta respond to this text real quick. All right. If you go fly the 7.5, or if you could fly the 7.5, would you go for it? Yes. But those days are pretty much long gone now. If you're not on the 7.5 right now, there's really no going to it, because I just saw something where Delta's reducing it like 26% again. I mean, it's not going to be very long, guys, and there's not even going to be any passenger 7.5s flying. I know there's two main operators in the U.S. that operate them, and they're both reducing them. They're retiring them out. So the thing with that is, if you bid to the 7.5, you're actually going to be shrinking. Your fleet is, with your fleet shrinking, your seniority is going to be kind of going the wrong way or stagnant, you know. GPU circuit board is cracked at the point where it slots into the motherboard socket. There's a small lip-like structure at the site of the damage. Zuhan. Really? Aaron, would you say 24 is stable enough to upgrade? Oh, dude, it's been stable since... Honestly, I really haven't had an issue since, like, the second, day it was out. The release day was a mess, and there were people that got corrupt downloads and stuff, myself included. Someone said after week 2. Yeah, pretty much after week 2, 2024 has been more stable to me than 2020 ever was. Also, 2024 has been much more enjoyable for me. That's just how I was mentally prepared going into 2024. I was like, look, as soon as it drops, I'm going to make the switch, because there's no need, and because I want the new stuff. I want the new flight model. I want the new airplanes. I want the new weather and environment. So I've enjoyed every bit of my time on 2024. I know some people just want to stick with their 2020, which is fine. I mean, that's kind of like the age-old argument, which is better, X-Plane or Microsoft? If you like 2020, fly 2020. But in my opinion, at this point, I think you're actually starting to miss out now. Like, if you're still flying 2020 and you're just kind of waiting to go to 2024, I would say you're missing out now. You're missing out on too many new features, too many improvements that you're not getting the full experience that you could be getting on 24 if you're still in 2020. It's not perfect. I mean, it's definitely, the sim is not perfect, but it's definitely at a point where I firmly believe that's true. Will you be starting an NG or Max? So the initial training is all done in the NG, and then at the end, I do a sim in the Max. But you're responsible for knowing all the Max limitations as well. So, like, I'm doing systems training right now, and I do it in parallel with Max, which we should fly the Max here pretty soon. iFly Max. I'd be curious to take a little sneak peek at the iFly Max again. But yes, I'm responsible for knowing both, limitations and the differences for both airframes. When FSX launched, people flew FS9 over FSX, then prepare that, the next plane of it. Yeah, Dandra, you're 100% right, man. You're 100% right. There's always going to be people that want to stick with, either they don't like change, or they're like me in other facets of my life, where I always think, hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? I live by that. Same with updating software. Like, hey, if I don't need to update it, I'm not updating it. I don't care. It's working the way I want it. I don't want any changes. And I think people feel the same way about their sim. Mitchell Taylor says, I'll make the switch when this bird finally drops. It's all I'm waiting for. Yep. I know a lot of people have been waiting for the NGs. And that I totally understand. Especially even early on when we only had, the Fenix was in 2024. That was it. We were flying a lot of default airplanes. And we had some fun with some default airplanes. I'm not going to lie. We did have some fun. I actually kind of want to fly the 404 or the Titan again. I saw there was some updates to the changelog of the Titan and default, so I might have to take a look at that. 2020 got to the point it would CTD on the original loading screen, forced my hand to 24. Yeah, I just loved. I mean, my 2020 got to the point of taking 30 minutes to load.
357, contact Oakland Center 123.8. Take care.
Aaron, I meant in 24, sorry. Yeah, PMDG came before the Fenix, but I meant in 2024. We only had like the Fenix, and then what else was compatible? I think the 146 got a compatibility update pretty soon. 330s.
Southwest Tree 57, Oakland Center.
But I'm right there with Diabetic Lad, man. 7.3 this, 7.3 that, 747 when. That's where I'm at.
Pack Valley 7721, Oakland Center. Expect radar vectors, RNAV runway 12. Expect radar vectors, RNAV runway 12, Pack Valley 7721.
Who's Pack Valley? Is that a freight operator? I'm still loyal to 2020. I have Xbox, and it's not too great on there yet. Took 5 years for 2020 to peak, so I'm making the most of it. I hear you. That's the other thing, too, I always forget about is there's a lot of people playing on console, right? Empire. A Diabetic Lad. I omitted. No time to work on the DC-6. We need to focus on the 7.4. All hands on deck, 747. Zach, what's up, man? I don't know where you ended up leaving, but we did a pretty incredible Autoland, which we will watch the replay at the conclusion of this flight. We'll watch both replays. But, man, that was an incredible Autoland in Sacramento. If you like that Autoland, make sure you do hit the like button on this stream if you can. That was pretty sweet. We got to get that out there to the algorithms. I was nervous, and that was low vis too. That was pretty much down to the 50-foot alert height. Al Loper, I hear you, man. When you switched to 2024, you thought something was wrong because it loaded so much faster. Rocker, yeah, instantly. I can Alt F4 and reload 2024 in probably 3 minutes. Where 2020 would take, no joking, 10 minutes, 7, 8 minutes just to load the sim. I would launch the sim and then go do something, come back, get ready. That's why if my sim ever crashed before a stream, oh my gosh, we'd have to delay the stream 30 minutes. Aviator Legend, I'm using a freeware. It's called Flight Recorder. It's on the Flight Sim TO, and I highly recommend it because you can save your replays. So if the sim were to crash during the replay event, as long as your replay is saved or you didn't close your replay, you can relaunch the sim, load into that airplane, and then just launch the replay, and it'll redo it for you. It is the best replay option available, I think, across the platform. I know people rave about X-Plane 12 replay system, and it's nice that a lot of the niche features work, like the nose wheel will turn in the replay mode and all this stuff when you're taxiing in X-Plane 12. But the biggest crutch to the X-Plane 12 replay system is if your sim crashes, replay's gone. You'll never see that landing again. So imagine we did a long haul from Tahiti to Auckland in the 748. And the sim crashed after we rolled into the gate. We were rolling into the gate and the sim crashed. However, the replay was saved. So that was nice. Got to see the actual landing. You know, if you do a long haul, you don't want to miss your landing. All right, 1,000 to go. Right, you can't change the time in X-Plane Replay. That's another downside. Yep, I agree with you there. All right, let's take a look outside here. Let's do a little outside view. All right. I mean, you guys like split scimitar? Split scimitars? Get a little cruise cam on. I kind of whacked that camera. I don't know where I had this camera set up perfectly, and I don't know how I had it set up, and I could not get it reset up the way it was. Let's do an actual reset. I gotta get you level. There we go. We'll come back around. Those clouds look absolutely incredible.
Oakland Center, SkyWest 3630. Good morning, flight level 306.
SkyWest 3630, Oakland Center, good morning.
That's a vibe right there. Winglet says, my favorite is the Scimitar after the bottom half has been removed because someone hit a fuel truck. The swept top half without the curb feelers. Oh, so just this part? Yeah, that would be kind of cool. There's your curb feelers down there. Flight deck to Sim X-Plane crashed on a second lake Saturday. He could not reload it. Yep, see? X-Plane crashes, you're toast. You're toast. The way X-Plane runs as a whole is just dated. It's just dated, man. We have the Iron Man selected, right? Yeah, we do. I can accept that clearance. No winglets and eyebrow windows for the wind. Hey, Lucas. I'm trying to remember your name there. Yeah, I agree with you, Lucas. Is it hard importing all your sceneries to 2020-24? Christian flies. Don't do it, man. You're going to have... I think this is where a lot of people get in trouble with 24. They try to port everything over. Because we were all told that everything was going to be compatible day one. That's not the truth. 2020 sceneries will give you issues in 2024 if they're not properly updated. You'll get stutters on short final. You'll get stutters on the ground. Everything may look right, but if it's not properly optimized for 2024, you will have problems. And I think a lot of people get caught in that. Same with airplanes and add-ons. Like, that's why you see me fly around in so many default airplanes as of late, or excuse me, default airports. Because if there's not a dedicated scenery for 2024, I probably don't have it installed because I don't want the stutter. To me, I'd rather just land and have a nice smooth experience. And I know the Hotel Adobo was absolutely atrocious. I don't know why they decided to go to that default terminal style for default airports. But to me, it's better than having issues with a 2020 scenery. Fuel trucks, amateurs, professionals take out entire light poles. Oh, my goodness. I remember when that happened, Turks. I was there that day. I remember taxiing down Echo and seeing the light pole on the ground. Should I get a force feedback yoke or WinWing FMC for your first PC? Get a force feedback yoke. If I had to rank simulation enhancers, it would be force feedback control device, whether that's either a side stick or a yoke. Then I would go with the autopilot panel, because the autopilot panel is how you fly the jet in real life. You use the autopilot panel 90% of the time because the autopilot's engaged, right? You don't have to use your mouse wheel to manipulate. You can manipulate it from this view. Like if I want to descend, I can come in here, scroll in an altitude, hit level change, whatever. So I would go force feedback. I would go autopilot panel. Then I would actually go, if you use the Honeycomb Bravo, I would go some sort of throttle mod or throttle quadrant. Either a dedicated quadrant for your favorite airliner and then get some Blackbird control levers for your Honeycomb Bravo, because having full-size levers makes another huge difference. It actually makes it a little bit easier to get precise movements of the thrust levers because you've got a longer arm, you know, the whole geometry thing again. You got arm, moment, all that stuff, right? So having taller full-size levers make a difference. And then I would go FMC. The FMC, and FMC is not last because it's the least amount of fun. It's arguably as much fun as the autopilot panel and force feedback. However, in terms of what you get out of your sim, you really, in my opinion, should have the other things first, because that's where you're going to be doing a lot of your manipulating. Now, if you can combine it, you can combine autopilot panel and FMC, it's game over, man. It's incredible if you can combine it. So that's my how we doing on descent, actually. We got to keep an eye on our prog page. Oh, shoot. It's busy. We got to get to work. Let's request ready for descent.
Southwest Tree 57, contact Oakland Center 128.7. Center on 128.7, Southwest 357, see you. Oakland Center, Southwest 357, good morning, flight level 370.
Southwest 357, Oakland Center, roger. Southwest 357, contact Los Angeles Center 127.1.
Contact Los Angeles Center 127.1.
Iron Man 16000 at the bottom. We're going to get behind on our TOD here. Let's do our init ref. Flaps 30, 145. We'll bring that down into here. 108.5 and 251. All right, 6,000 is the bottom. 6,000 is set. ILS freak is 108.5. I don't want air. Okay, there we go. That's fine. 1085. One 108.5, 251 is set. We're going to be mode Alpha 3, runway elevation, because we are probably going to be on a Cat 3 approach here again for 24 right. ILS 24 right, Cat 2, Cat 3. This is our daddy right here. Cat 2, Cat 3, ILS, 600 RVR required. We know it's going to be 50-foot alert height. Touchdown zone is 122. So elevation 122, enter, 3-degree slope. Length for the runway is, what did we say, 24 right? Yeah, 24 right. 24 right. Oh, this is the equipment. We went over that on our first leg. Two full right is 89.26, but that's in meters. Length in meters. What's 89.26 meters to feet? 8,900 feet, 2 meters is 2712. Length in meters is 2712. Alright, mode A3 is selected. We got to go baro to radio and 50 foot. 50 foot across the board. We'll do radio. 50 is set as well. All right, we're coming down 6,000. We're on the arrival. Let's run some landing data. Now, what is the actual weather for LA? 1/16th mile. So according to this, it's low vis. Will it actually be low vis according to our weather? I don't know. But let's prepare like it will be. So the low vis taxi routes, less than 1200 RVR for LAX off of runway 24 right approach. We want to make sure we make Zulu, Whiskey, or Yankee. So we'll keep that in mind for our auto brake selection. So let's run our landing data. Oops. We're going to run import from flight plan and actually got to update this. LAX, Los Angeles, runway 24 right. Import from aircraft, import weather, calculate. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, landing en route. Jeez. My goodness. 24 right, import aircraft deals. There we go, there we go, there we go. Auto brakes 3 gives us 5,400 feet. If we do auto brakes 2, 7632, so I don't like that. I like auto brakes 3. We can make that turn off easier. 5,800 feet required. 8927 is set. VREF of 149, so we'll select auto brake 3. Our HUD will verify is set. Mode A3 is on there. FO side, we got Alpha 3 locked and loaded. Terrain up on both sides. Oh, nope, that's the, I got the VSD up on the FO side. Let's go terrain on your side. Zoom you down. Could look at the VSD for this, kind of fun. All right. Down we go. Meters will be on the 10.9. You have no reverser credit. We never use reverser credit. All landings are based on reversers and operative. Why would I look at the meters? Oh yeah, 2721. First time I ever had to look at meters. All right. So we're set. Should I get a second FMS or autopilot panel? You should get an autopilot panel, aviation dude. 100% you should get an autopilot panel. No questions, man. No questions about that. Steep descent after mupped. We'll verify these fixes. They all check out. Circus 10.9. Those all look good. 251 missed approach out to rafts and hold that are above 2,000. That all looks good. Bright slope is on 108.5, 251. Triple checked. We're below max weight. So we are looking good. A little bit of a tailwind pushing us here. Let's get some speed brake here. DeAndre, take it easy, man. We'll see you on the next one. All right. We are ready. Little speed brake. Going to LAX. See, I don't know what it'll look like down there. I'm hoping we've got the historical weather on, but it's also later in the day, so. Has anyone found out what a cup of coffee is going to cost? Well, it depends. Is it Starbucks? Listen, so Starbucks by me, I can get a peppermint mocha for $4. A peppermint mocha at the airport Starbucks, that's not even in the airport, just close to the airport by the rental car return, was $8.90 something. It's almost $9. So it depends.
Southwest 357, Los Angeles Center.
Force feedback is a different beast. I almost had to relearn how to flare and fly and approach manually after getting the Moza yoke. I was so close to being so gentle, not using enough trim. Yep, exactly right. That's what I'm saying. There is no if I were to, like I said, rank the simulation enhancers, force feedback being number 1, number 2 is miles below number 1. It's that much of a game changer. Thrustset says, I believe the actual quote was a couple of cups of coffee. There you go. So a couple of cups. If I get 2 peppermint mochas for the wife and I at the airport, that's $27. I flew in the AirCal livery, American 737. Ooh, that's a nice one. A few weeks ago, might be my favorite livery along with bare metal. AirCal is nice. We do not have it in the OC3, unfortunately. We have TWA, which is really nice. We have the One World, but we don't have any bare metals. I cannot wait because I agree with you. I think American Airlines has some of the best retro liveries on the 737 because they've got all of those defunct airlines represented on their 73 fleet. They have some really good ones on the Airbus too, with US Airways and the Piedmont Bird and Stand Up to Cancer. So they've got some really good. I can't wait for the community to get a hold of the NG and crank out some. We're gonna have to do like a week of American. We might even have to relaunch. I haven't done this in years, but we were part of VAAL, Virtual American Airlines. It might be fun to fire that up again with the NGs. We could do NG, we could do MD-80, because we did V-Spirit, we did VAAL, we did a few VUAL, V-Piedmont, we've done a few of those, but I don't even know how that works in 2024. I don't know if Pegasus works still or what. The flagship on the 777, I like it. I actually saw it in person driving a DFW the other day. I saw that in person. It looks good, but it should have been bare metal, man. It should have been bare metal. That's all I'll say. It would have been so much better bare metal. I forgot to turn the seatbelt sign off. Turn it back on. All right, let's do a descent checklist, please. Altimeters 3012. Approach preparation complete. Pressurization check. Terrain display selected. Lights are set. Descent checklist complete. Yeah, Zach Dill. VAAL Ops has been it's been over a year, dude. Over a year. Marty, thank you for the €10 super chat. My friend says, V1, I need to correct myself. If you remember my last super chat, the ITT of PC-12 that I fly does indeed drop after spiking. Watched it, a hot engine start, 750C, 680, and then rising again. Marty, you're dead to me. Thank you for the €10 super chat. Appreciate you, man. So we have concluded then that the PC-12, the engine, the PT6 that's in the PC-12, I think it's one of the largest PT6s available, right? So because of that, I think it really emphasizes that dual ignition, or like you get 2 igniters, right? So you get half the ignition, or is it the ignition or the fuel? Fuel nozzles. Half the fuel nozzles and then more fuel is more apparent on the PC-12, because we did have another PC-12 driver confirm that as well. So I appreciate the super chat, but still dead to me. One peak. Plateau. But here's my question. My follow-up question, Marty, is does that happen every start? Or was that only during a very cold start did that happen? Where you actually lost 70 degrees C. Now here's the other thing too. You guys are using your fancy digital iCast display where you can read single-digit increments. When I flew PT6s, it was a round needle that looked like it was, you could barely read the lines in between it. You knew where it was supposed to be, and that's where it was. So, Hunt, I did see your comment from yesterday. You got your pipe burst, man. Glad everything worked out. Welcome back, man. Frozen pipes are no good. Aaron, I'm right there with you, man. He says, I love how people are really scrutinizing the couple cups of coffee price thing. It's clearly not going to be a big upgrade price, but it pays for development, which is completely reasonable. I totally agree, Aaron. Look, PMDG has been around for a long time. They obviously know how to run their business. It's obviously been successful. And you don't get to be an unsuccessful business owner with a Falcon jet. So everybody can say what they want to say about pricing, but at the end of the day, PMDG has, you know, they know what they're doing. Whether you agree with it or not, that's irrelevant. No one is sitting here forcing you to buy something either, right? If you do not think it's worth it, then you can stay and fly the 737 in 2020, right? More the merrier. But it is what it is, man. It gets people get really really get bent around the axle about that.
Southwest 357, contact Los Angeles Center 125.8.
Contact Los Angeles Center 125.8, Southwest 357. Take care.
A little bit hot. A little bit hot. A little more speed breakout.
Los Angeles Center, Southwest 357, descending via Ironman 2, 12,400 feet.
Gotta fund Rob's next tri-holder somehow. Hey.
Southwest 357.
I wish I had a tri-holder, man.
Southwest 357.
Park Avenue Starbucks or Topeka 7-Eleven.
Contact SoCal approach.
SoCal. Oh.
Good morning.
I need a radio panel. That's what I need next.
Southwest tree 57, SoCal approach, altimeter tree 012, expect a visual approach, runway 24 right.
That guy sounds like he's a legit controller. I feel like I've talked to him.
Expect the visual approach, runway 24 right, Southwest 357.
Now, they may try to give me the visual because I'm not running real, they're not looking at the real weather that I am. Basement dwellers. McShiggity Pilot says, do you know if I bought the 737 and 700 in 2020, do I have to pay full ticket for the 800? For the 800, I believe, McShiggity, so someone correct me, how did they bundle them? Was it 700 and 600? And then 800 and 900 were standalone? I can't remember off the top of my head, McShiggity Pilot, maybe someone in chat remembers. I thought they bundled two of them in 2020. They're all separate, Aaron? Okay, so I was wrong. So they're all separate. Never mind, they're each individual. There you go. So I was wrong. All individual, McShiggity Pilot. But to my understanding, if you have the 700 in 2020, if you go to 2024 and you get the 700 again, it will be at upgrade price versus full price. But if you buy the 800 in 2024, then yes, you're going to pay full price for the 800 because it's a separate aircraft.
Jet 2 FX Ray, descend and maintain 4,400, altimeter tree 011. Descend and maintain 4,400.
The 600, oh, that's what it was. The 73600 standalone was $35. That's what it was. Right? And like the 800 was almost double that, or $60, something like that. The 600 was the best. That was the best $30 you could spend. I couldn't believe that. $35 for the PMDG 737-600. Which does everything the 7, 8, and 9 do and more, except you don't have winglets, which I think is cooler. And you talk about pocket rocket, man. That 600 was a blast. All right, well, where are we at here? We are 9,230. We're coming back on the speed. We're looking good. 5 times prepare for landing. We already made the PA. For landing checklist to the line, please. Approach briefings complete. Seatbelts on. PAs complete. Recall checked. Auto brakes as required. HUD is set. Radios and displays set and cross-check. We'll verify one more time. 1085, 1085, 251. Beautiful. Set and cross-check before landing checklist to the line. Outside air temp plus 22. We're looking fine. Oh yeah, the 737-800 was 73.8. That's right. You have $73.80. It might be low vis down there. We'll see. I'm half tempted to run the sim time forward to nighttime. Well, no, because that'll mess with the weather. Let's keep it as is. tonight we'll do a sunset. It'll be a sunset stream or blue hour into night, not into night, but you get what I'm saying. No more midday flying for our second stream. What's better, Beyond ATC or SAN tensions? I don't know. I don't use SAN tensions, so I wouldn't know. I use Beyond ATC. To Qatari, I agree, man.
FlexJet 2 FX-ray, leave darts heading 175. Expect radar vectors for...
Leave darts heading 175. Expect radar vectors for FlexJet 2 FX-ray.
$1,000 ago. Is GSX worth it? That's a load. I mean, I think if you want ground ops, I think it's fine. I had it for years. Key6, member of the chat, he bought it for the channel like 4 separate times to get me back on it. We all want different things out of our sim, right? We all want different things out of our sim. For me, having trucks and stuff, boarding passengers and stuff, I did not think it was super necessary. I like the pushback situation, but we all want different things. Some people want that stuff.
FlexJet 2 FX-ray, descend and maintain 4,000 feet.
I'll tell you what, getting rid of it and not using it over the last, I don't know, but it's been almost 8 months or so. We haven't used GSX. It's been great. Because there's always, you got to update this profile, or you don't have a profile for this, or GSX did that, or waiting on this, But there is something to be said about sitting there loading in real time. Like, I think it's more fun for wide body, long haul flying, because you can really build the mood. Like, a couple of the really long flights that we've done, the Sydney to LA, or going across the pond, any of the long hauls we've done where we're sitting there, like, just kind of building the mood, it's fun for that, but there is a whole lot of headache that comes with it. Depart Gatto heading 075, that's right now, so 075 heading select. Let's clean up the box. It's going to be Skull, bring it to the top, inbound 251, execute. Box is cleaned, we're in heading select at 6,000. Alright, let's listen up. A gate turnaround, yes. Agreed. Alright, 4,000 feet.
Juliet Alpha 891 Alpha Heavy, leave pitcher
and I guess we'll flight level change it. 210, 4,000, down we go.
Peter heading 295. Expect radar vectors for Juliet Alpha 891 Alpha Heavy.
Juliet Alpha 891 Alpha Heavy, turn left heading tree 10, vectors for the approach.
Turn left, heading 310.
Turk.
Juliet Alpha
Turk Karen.
891 Alpha Heavy.
I didn't know you were flying today, Turk, in the U.S. Sounds like Turk on the radio. Hey, Jay, what's up? Thanks for the... Is that Skull like Vikings? You them boy? Yeah, I'm still them boys, man. I just can't wait for this football season to be over, AJ. This was a terrible football season. Texas gets snubbed from the playoffs. The Jets were atrocious. We knew that going into it. The Cowboys can't get it together because Dak sucks. I can't wait. This football season needs to end, man. I mean, I guess I'm a huge Texas A&M fan. I was going to fish a tournament on Saturday. I'm debating between fishing a tournament on Saturday or watching Texas A&M. I might convert to be a huge Aggies fan this week. Did I watch the game last night? I did, but I started studying my 737 material at about halftime.
Over to tower 133.9er FlexJet 2 FX-ray.
College baseball, bomb tech. I think you've had too many concussions, man. College baseball. Goodness. Too much playing with the boombala boombala. Hunt, I've been using default pushback, man. Alt-P. Default pushback in the sim. Left Alt-P will get you pushing back. And then you just left Alt-P again to stop it, or you can let it go to where it thinks you should go. But my goodness, this is the best clouds I've ever seen in my life. Tell me those clouds don't look amazing, guys. Though they've nailed the wispiness, like the light wispiness there. To me, that looks so good. Hunt, I don't turn. I just hit Alt-P. Alt-P. I just let it turn me wherever it wants me to go. I think Azobo had to do some cloud working. I mean, or maybe it's just the perfect combination of weather that we got set today.
5542, leave Santa Monica heading 085. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway 25 left.
How far out we getting vectored, Chief?
Leave Santa Monica heading 085. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway 25 left, SkyWest 5542.
Getting ready to turn myself in.
Juliet Alpha 891, Alpha Heavy, contact Los Angeles Tower 133.9er. Contact Tower 133.9er.
Aviation dude, yeah. They GSX has been working fine for a lot of people, and I think it's stabled out. I think when I was really using it going into 2024, there was a lot of growing pains, right? Got to update this up. I think it's really stabled out, but Dallas Stars are life.
SkyWest 5542, descend, maintain.
Best forward speed. What's up, my man? That wasn't you that almost collided with a tanker now, was it?
Descend, maintain for 1,000 feet. Altimeter tree 011. SkyWest 5542.
I mean, I'm going to make my own turn in here pretty soon. Yeah. That's the benefit of Beyond ATC. We can do our own thing. We'll vector ourselves in here because we're getting I don't know how far out we are. 30 miles out. Vector through the localizer. Actually, let's take it. Let's go direct. PALC. Execute LNAV. VOR loc. Glide slope armed. We never adjusted our approach course. What? What's going on with our approach course here? We never set 251? Did we not set 251? How did we not set 251? 1085, 251 both sides, 1085, we're recapturing. That was weird. Alright. I was wondering what the turn was all about there. Would you practice any emergency landings or for engine failures, emergency descent for practice? Yeah, once I get to that point, we'll probably do a few. Blame the FO, I know it. It's your fault. I can't believe one of the most important things. All right, so on this approach, we're going to disconnect at 50 feet and try to land without smashing.
SoCal approach, SkyWest 6289, 15,100 with the numbers. Los Angeles Tower, Southwest 357.
Southwest 357, Los Angeles Tower, continue.
All right.
Roger.
Breaks out another
Southwest
notepad, writes
357.
page 6 of at the top.
Los Angeles Tower, Delta 890.
Delta 890,
no.
Los Angeles Tower, wind
We got
120
Rondazzo's
at
back
5,
there in the.
runway 25 left,
Oh, we got the
clear to
door
land.
open too.
Runway
We'll
25
get
left,
Rondazzo's
clear to
seat
land,
out for
Delta
him.
890.
You hear the clicking of the pen from the check airman. Never a good sign. All right. All right, 4,000 feet. We're below the slope. Glide slope is armed. We're 210. Let's go flaps 5. Big Sierra, my man, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Appreciate you. If you pick up a membership from Big Sierra, shout him out. Say thank you, man. Thanks for all the support. It's a name I remember. V1's about to be deadheading a lot more than on that seat. I know. Flaps 5. Come back to 180. All right. We're too far out for Command B? No. Both autopilots are engaged. Let's go ahead and run it. Below the line. Speed brakes. Armed. Green. Nope, we can't do it. What are we doing? Don't do that. Disregard. All right, recording is recording. Glide slope. Gear down. Flaps 15. Coming back to 150. Actually, it's going to be 149. All right, now let's run it. Below the line, speed brakes, armed, green light, gear, down at 3 green, flaps, 30, green light. Landing check is complete.
Alaska 1442, hold position for traffic. I'll call you back.
Hold position, Alaska 1442.
Why so early? Because we're slowing for traffic.
Delta 890, exit right at Hotel 4.
Exit right at Hotel 4 at Delta 890.
Southwest 357, wind check.
$2,500.
Wind 120 at 5.
All right. Green light, Alpha 3 on the FO sign. All right, so 50 feet, disconnect. Now, this is the cool part. I get to do this in the sim. In the real sim. You're looking forward to that. But, yeah, we're going to disconnect at 50 feet and land without smashing. So that'll be fun. Hopefully my autopilot disconnect is bound. Do you disconnect the throttle too? Shoot, I don't know. Captain problems. That's the captain. Great representation out the window. of low vis. That's pretty much what it looks like. A whole lot of white. Place your bets on the number of bins popped.
Southwest tree 57, wind 120 at 5, runway 24 right, clear to land.
Runway 24 right, clear to land, southwest 357.
Light flashing yellow. I don't know why. Flare is armed. Hey, command. Chat. I love this. I love the 7-3. This is so sick.
Skywest 5542, Los Angeles Tower, wind 120 at 5, runway 25 left, clear
Ground
to land.
altitude set. We'll leave at 4,000.
Runway 25 left, cleared to land. Skywest 5542.
Wait, who's landing? Oh, 25 left. I mean, it's doing
1,000.
an awesome job. I mean, it's locked in. Look at that. Right on ref speed. V1's a big 7-3 guy. Even though you'll be in the right seat, you'll always be my captain. Thank you, Captain Sim. Appreciate you, man. I would not be sad if we broke out early.
Los Angeles Tower, southwest 2135, ILS runway 25 left.
A little bit of ground contact out the side.
Southwest 2135, Los Angeles Tower, wind 120 at 5, runway 25 left, clear to land.
Runway 25 left, clear to land, southwest 2135.
Making me nervous, Trim. Oh, there's our runway overlay. That is so cool. That is so cool. Look, it's right on the money, too.
Approaching minimums.
Not going to disconnect till 50.
100.
Landing.
Minimums. 30.
Ah!
10.
Deployed. That's wild. That is so wild. So wild. Were we supposed to take that exit? I don't remember. We're going to the next one. Manual brakes.
Southwest tree 57, exit left at Yankee.
Exit left at Yankee, southwest 357.
That is too freaking cool. This is a big hotspot right here. This is whiskey, but don't cross the runway here. Real tight, hold short between runways.
Southwest tree 57, contact ground 121.65.
So they wouldn't tell you to do that. They'd actually, oh my gosh, that is why you don't cross runways.
Southwest 357, see you.
That, and that happened not too long ago, where they had a guy cross the runway there. That is 100% why. Yep, recording is saved. We've got it locked in, guys. Got it. Beautiful. All right. Let's contact ground, request taxi to gate.
Southwest 357, request taxi to
So
company
we're
gate.
whiskey. So we could have taken whiskey or Yankee.
Southwest 357, gate 18, Bravo taxi via whiskey. Hold short runway 2 for left.
That's where we are. We'll poof
Gate
over a little
18,
bit.
Bravo via whiskey. Hold short runway 2 for left, southwest 357. Southwest
That sounds great.
357, waiting to cross 2 for left.
Southwest 357, hold short of 2 for left. I'll call you back.
All right. Normally put the brake on, turn the lights off. But since we got the brake set, let's listen to the flap retract. Let's see if we can't see another airplane take off here. I think I see one coming through the fog. Maybe? Disarm. Yeah, so holding short, brake set, we can now bring the flaps up. We'll shut the lights off. That way we don't freak out anybody on the departure. Great flap sounds. Yep, there's a guy on the departure roll right there. Valetis? Yep. Valeris A320. All right, FO after landing flow. Trim 5 units.
Southwest 357. Cross
Flaps
runway
up.
24 left at Whiskey.
Off.
Continue taxi via Whiskey Delta November Echo, Echo 12 Lima, Delta 10.
I'm sorry, what?
Cross runway 24 left at Whiskey. Continue taxi via Whiskey Delta November Echo Echo 12 Lima Delta 10 Southwest 357.
Echo Echo 12 Lima. That's kind of a weird thing, Lima, and then they want us to go all the way down. No, we're gonna go our own way, but appreciate you. Beyond ATC. I mean, I don't know why anybody thinks the default sounds are not awesome, because they are. I forgot part of my flow, dang it. Forgot the flight directors, auto throttles off. I'm going to zero this out to 100 so we don't actually want to do that. We'll spin this out to 0. Alright, there we go. After crash checklist, we'll run that here in a minute. We're just going to go the way they would actually taxi you, real world. This is really good, low vis. I mean, I used to think X-Plane was the best at low vis. This is really good representation. The way these buildings are fading in and out, like you can barely see that. That's pretty good representation. One of the last times I was in LA, we landed we're doing RVR again, right? So it was touchdown was like 1200, rollout was it was like 1200, 600, and 300 rollout. Because the fog bank is moving in from the ocean. So we even saw the runway. We saw the touchdown zone, no problem. And then in the rollout, we just went 0 vis, went down to 300 RVR. You're like, jeez, you can't see anything. And you talk about taxiing slow. You're doing 2 to 5 knots taxi, and crossing between parallels, extremely dangerous. Have I ever turned on the wrong taxiway IRL? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. There are those that have and those that will, my friend. But see, I know that's an auto FPS. If I had auto FPS, I would not get that hiccup between view changes, because I'm running 260 or 275. Somewhere between 250 275 LOD fixed at an INI scenery. That's how I know you're out. That's a good way to tell if your LOD is pretty much maxed for your current rig. Change views around, and if it's not a butter in the view change, that means you're pretty much at the limit. But you can tell once you get your camera stationary, it's smooth as butter. So if you want to max out your performance, it's a good way to tell. You had to do an Autoland IRL in LAX? Nice. That was my last IRL Autoland too, was LAX. Two to 5 knots, welcome to your new reality. I know, man, I know. Yeah, pilot guy, I wish we could turn the airport lights on in the daytime. Well, we're such simmers, man. We always find something to complain about. For years, we complained about FSX having lights on in the daytime, and now we want lights on. What needs to happen is Microsoft needs to have a way to turn airport lighting on when it comes to visibility. Because real world, the lighting would be on because of the visibility. We're not going to do a full shutdown or anything like that because we got 2 replays to watch. We're just going to park it here at this gate. I know it's not a southwest gate, but let's just park it here and get into the replays. I think this is a wide body gate here, 34 Alpha maybe. Let's see, if I had to park it from the FOC, am I on the center line? Nope. It's a little bit more like here. I don't know. Oh, 7.3 right there. Erp. All right. Let's disconnect from Beyond. And we're going to watch this replay first, since we just did it, and then we'll rewind the Autoland. We'll watch that one second. So this was our replay. Oh, let me do what was our landing rate? I did better than the Autoland. I got a 178. 178. All right, so let's see what it looked like. Replay is coming on. Let's go ahead and get the flaps coming out. Gears coming down. Let's let the flaps come out here. Yeah, I really want to see the Autoland one. That's what we're going to do in a second. Make you hang on a little bit longer. Guys, don't remember, if you liked this stream, if you liked seeing some Autoland and low-vis ops, hit the like button. And actually, if you want some more low-visibility discussions and get a little bit more in-depth into specific approaches and what is required versus what's not required, and seeing the 42 different things we have to check from a flight crew perspective to see if we can actually shoot that approach, hit the like button, then we can do more of it. All right, flaps 30. Gear is down.
2,500. 1,000.
Oh, that's great. All right, 1,000 feet inbound, passenger view, looking out the south side. Need 40 more likes for 350. Yeah, if we get 357 likes, that'd be epic. Oh, yes, please. 7.3 flaps look awesome. That looked awesome. Any stream tonight? Yes, that is the plan. We're planning to do some prop ops tonight. JJ, thanks for the $2 super chat. Filming Cheat Chong's final Hotbox movie in LA. Thanks for the $2 super chat, JJ. Man, that's about as good as they get right there, chat. I think we're robbed. Where's XP72 at? Oh my gosh, yeah, we're robbed. Robbed. Let's go back to, could we even see it from in and out? Where's in and out at? So let's do this. We're gonna try to set it up in and out. We're gonna reset you. Who's in and out at? Where's the in and out at? I thought it was part of the scenery. Oh, there it is, there it is, there it is. We found it, we found it. This is going to be very tricky. I don't know why we got stalagmites in here. We got some stalagmites. Alright. I got an idea. Well, I guess that ruins our low vis. I don't know what's going on with all the that situation. That sounds pretty dang good, guys. Kiss. All right, it's time. It's time for the full Autoland. This may get a little funky, so I want to go live everything, right? And wind the time back to like 11. All right, Godspeed. We're going all the way back to Sacramento. Turks, you've been random 4 to 5 times this month. Does my awful streak continue? Yes. Would you fly the approach at a Dallas 1-3 left? Ooh, that'd be a good one. All right, so here was us turning 180. I started the recording way early on this one. All right. Coming through 500 feet. This is full Autoland right here. Turks, can you believe it? I didn't get random once when I went on my base visit. Couldn't believe it. Didn't get random here or there, or on the way back. Maybe it's my new KCM card. Man, we are 3 likes away from 357. If you haven't hit the like button, see if you can do the channel a solid and get us at 357 likes. That would be sweet. Approach warm. Would be in approach mode. I know, that's why I thought I was going to get it at least twice, but I didn't. Couldn't believe it. I mean, that's pretty good too. That's pretty good. So this is a full Autoland PMDG 7.3. Dang. Pretty freaking good. All right, we're gonna set up sail. I'm gonna set up the flyby cam here right about there. Let's go here, let's go here, let's go here. Let's go here. Boom, boom. What a fun stream, man. Shout out to PMDG. Robert Rendazzo, the entire PMDG team. I know Mathis Koch was here earlier. This release is going to be awesome. for the updated 737NG coming to 2024 in Sim Update 4. Sim is running great. Sim ran flawlessly today. Airplane ran flawlessly. This is awesome. So great having everybody here. Thank you all for hitting the like button. Thank you for the massive membership subs that were gifted today. We had some incredible membership gifts. Big Sierra, Mike P, Blackbird Controls, Eastern T3, Pete Ski. You guys were awesome. Thank you, Colby Sullivan, JJ Stevens, AJ Funari, Lucas Bunkton. If I missed your name, I apologize. Thank you all for being here. We are going to go live tonight. Even a touchdown screen. I think we'll be in the Aerostar. I might put a poll out, so if you're a commercial member, keep your eyes open for a poll for doing a aircraft selection for tonight's stream. But I'm leaning Aerostar right now. So until then, I'll have that stream up in probably about 30 minutes or so. The stream, man, I'll maybe another hour and a half, 2 hours from now. I'm going to get some lunch, do a little studying, get ready for a little nightcap. So until then, stay safe, stay healthy. IP1, see you.